love to be a part of those conversations. It's almost like an intellectual, like bird watching almost for them. And they're like, this is fascinating stuff. I'm not into it, but it's very fascinating to talk about. So I think it just depends on, it's hard to, there's no way to please everybody. So the opt-in is usually the best.
One of the servers that I'm on is a, basically a text-based town of Salem that happens once a month with the vampire, are you a vampire or are you a werewolf kind of thing. And there's several ACE members, and every single time we start a new thing, it's like, all right, who's gonna be flirty, because they're like, this is my safe way to explore this in a way that doesn't make me uncomfortable, and it's always fascinating to see the characters that they create.
Mm-hmm.
And then anytime it actually goes to like a romantic space,
they can hear us.
They're like, okay,
I think they can hear us, guys.
Yep.
Well, someone just asked if they're supposed to. Yeah, can hear you but not see you, FYI.
Welcome to my brain.
Oops. No one say anything spicy. I mean, ironically, we were talking about something slightly so.
Sriracha. Habaneros.
Oh my god. Hurts that chilies.
Surprise! We're live.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
I thought, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Hello, friends. Welcome to Shenanigoons, the Book of Fables, that sorta kind of fairy tale D&D campaign where you contribute to the chaos. I am Angela, your dungeon master / storyteller for the evening. Hello, players. So nice to see you after everyone heard you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They didn't hear me. That's the real kicker. It was only that audio.
Amazing.
My
That's
bad.
really funny.
Anyway, I'll fix it next time. So, it's been a
Hell
bit.
to you. Hell to you, Lane. Hell to you.
Yeah, no, hell. I like it.
Yeah.
Hi. It's been a bit. It's been a couple weeks, and we are happy to be back. I am just over the moon about being back today. And we will be doing some stuff, prepping for some battles. Sounds like.
Battles, you say?
Yes, but first, before we get to that, don't forget if you have. Oh, thank you so much for the anonymous subscription gifts. That's very kind. How very, very kind of you.
Thank you.
Give me 2 seconds to do the same on my account because I don't want to forget to do that. 2 seconds. Resubscribe. Subscribe with Prime. Good. Now I remembered, and we'll probably hit a thingy. What you call it? Hype train.
Hi.
We'll see what
Hi.
happens. There we go.
Yep.
We're close.
The hype train.
One
is
more for
closed.
Hype Train. Don't forget, everybody. Yeah, Lane, I hope PAX was good. I did not get to go to Dragon Con this year, but I think I made a wise decision. Oh, it's gonna be a bit. We're gonna hear my little weird singing. Okay, so we are hyped. Thank you all so much for being delightful and helping us hit a hype train before we even start the show. But we adore your support and enthusiasm. And before we get started, let's quick chat about who we are and what does our daddy do. So we're gonna be. I heard a guy do a. I think it was an Austrian accent today, but I wasn't 100% sure if it was an Austrian accent that he was doing or if he was just doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. It could have been either. No, see, this was just me trying to get Lane to choke on whatever she was drinking right now, and I think I probably succeeded given the spaces between the letters in my name in chat. I still don't have the chat one up. I meant to have a chat camera, but I don't. So I'll just leave the events list up for a little bit. We are
level 4. Sorry, I did not mean
yeah. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
We've got a new subscriber.
Holy moly, guys!
Yeah, we've got we've got some. We have another gift subscription to push us up. Thank you so much. Let's try to keep. Let's give the fine people some content. So we are members of the Nerdsmith Network. You can find out more about us at nerdsmith.org, or if you like what you watched tonight, or I don't know, you just feel like joining a club, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/nerdsmith. We are our patrons get access to really cool exclusive content, including some bonus stuff from our miscellaneous shows on the network, as well as exclusive World Anvil content, which is a beautiful segue into one of our sponsors. We are sponsored by World Anvil, an incredible world building and campaign management software or set of tools. Excuse me. You can use the link in chat that worldanvil.com. That may or may not work. Oh no, it works. Use that link and you can find out a bunch of stuff about our game. If you're a Patreon subscriber, though, you will get access to exclusive articles in there, including fiction by our very own Kyle, some downtime for Harlan between some of the sessions, some things that have been going on in Harlan's brain or things that Harlan has done off camera. I'm pretty sure it's all PG.
Some
haven't written
that one yet.
I haven't written that one yet. No. That's Shenanigoons After Dark. But you also get access to, starting very soon, we're going to have locations and NPC stat blocks and things that you can use in your own TTRPG campaigns, whether it's D&D or otherwise. Just a little bit of flavor for some of the big locations and power players here in the world of Shenanigoons, and you can get access to those by being one of our patrons. So yeah, those are some really nifty things about World Anvil, and I've been making some really cool stuff. You can check out in the adventures area, you can check out the page for our campaign, as well as the previous 2 campaigns of Shenanigoons, so you can find out a little bit about what those games were about and about the characters in them. And I have not changed Harlan's race and class, because what I want to do is hide a bunch of obviously incorrect information throughout the World Anvil, and they'll be like, we can use it as a scavenger hunt, and someone could win a prize if they find all the things or something. We'll play around with it. All right, and we are also sponsored by Eldritch Foundry, which you can find our portraits here in our layout. Were designed in Eldritch Foundry with their fantasy miniature designer. We also, I have also made, as part of our Patreon subscriptions, you can get access to the full Eldritch Foundry models for each of our characters. Those are Patreon exclusive that you can get on our World Anvil as well. So please consider. Finally, Tessa, you know what day it is.
I have to defend my honor from Kyle at the moment, who's saying that I fight. Well, I mean, he's right. I might on occasion if you ask nicely. Anyway, let's talk about Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is a wonderful, nifty little website where you can go and pick up your very own delightful polyhedrals if you are like me and in love with dice. And this month I want to talk to you just a little bit about romance. And part of you, some of you may be going, Tessa, it is September, why are we talking about romance? And that is because our dice set is the Dreamscape Larkspur, which is a beautiful glitter shifting purple and blue set in a copper background. Now, larkspur, purple and blue petals, they symbolize love, pure heart, beauty, and mainly first loves. So, if you were like me and your true love, I won't say my first and only love is dice, because that's just false. But my true heart's desire is always dice. So, if you want to be truly romantic, get your partner or partners a set of the Dreamscape Larkspur Die Hard Dice. And you can do this by going to dieharddice.com and using the coupon code NERDSMITH for 10% off of your order.
Thank you so much, Tessa.
You're very
Very. We're always a fan here at Shenanigoons of Die Hard Dice. They make such pretty shit.
They
Seriously.
do, and I'm really, really not allowed to go onto their website to find you, to give you links anymore, Angela, because every time I do that, I end up with more in my cart. It's a problem. I mean, it's not a problem. It's a problem for my wallet, but not for me. So.
I understand. All right. So, let me real quick adjust some stuff. I'm just making sure that our chat is in the chat screen because I made a version of the screen that had the chat.
Amazing.
All right. We got more puppies. It's the best hype train ever. They're just puppies.
Yes.
All right. So, oh no. Hold on.
What? I don't know.
Someone
what
already did it?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Alora.
wow.
This is very good. One last thing before we start is, as we said, you can contribute to the chaos, and one of the ways which you can do so, which was just done right now, was gift a reroll to the party pool. So you get one dice. Thank you, Alora. We appreciate you. $5 tip to the show gets a reroll put into the party pool, which is a reroll of any D20 roll that they make during the game. They have to keep the reroll, or no, we just have them roll at advantage, basically. I've never made them keep the reroll. $15 has a spin the wheel of causality, which I haven't fiddled with today. And it creates some fun in-game and meta chaos for the players to have to deal with. Just let us know who is spinning the wheel, who will be affected by the wheel effect. We also have at $25, you can help me by creating an NPC, one of which is going to come back into play because I only half read the thing last time. And I'm going to actually pay attention this time and give the complete character description. And then finally, $50 if you are that absurdly generous, which we have had it happen a couple times. At $50, you provide us with a little bit of DM Ex Machina, which gives the player of your choice 1 minute of DM powers. I let go of the wheel, and they get to run shit for a minute. Which we'll see if that happens during whatever's coming. I mean, I kind of know what's coming. I mean, I sort of kind of know what's coming. I never really do, given that you guys always throw me for a loop, so...
I would hope that you at least kind of know.
That's a big hope. But we'll say, yeah, sure, fine. Sure, I know things. I have approximate knowledge of many things. Including what's gonna happen tonight. So, how's about we get started? But first, a little psych up music, and we'll see you all in a minute.
Yes.
Yee!
Hello. Oh, and then the creepy music started. This is so good. Okay. Previously on... Sorry. Ignore the hamster.
Behave.
Ignore the hamster. That is actually really distracting. Previously on, we had our adventurers back in the Book of Faebles. And it was very confusing. People were a little, unsure. You know, I actually think today is episode 40. Just...
Is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Might be.
It's that time jump that we did.
Sure, it's one of those. I don't remember. If someone wants to double check for me, that'd be great, but it's not a huge deal. I could just change the number. Because I'm pretty sure I had notes for the session we... Is it 41?
Today's 41.
Hooray! Okay, good.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if I had written a bunch of notes for the session, and then that was the session we didn't end up doing. So the group is in the Book of Faebles. The Book of Faebles changed from what they once knew it as, only a little. Some of the politics has shifted around, specifically with the queens of... I'm calling them the Queens of Fable now. That since we now have Queens of Fae, that we need to differentiate. As you all were exploring what changes had occurred between your last visit to the book to your homeland, ostensibly, you found that a schism had formed between the queens. Something seemingly spurred on by the actions of Her Majesty of the Word, Oliet's patron, well, now patron, but previously just mentor. And so the group kind of split up a little bit in an effort to get the lay of the land. Oliet wanted to speak directly to Her Majesty of the Word and figure out what was going on. While Paru and Beza, I think it was it Paru, Beza, and Harland? Did all the rest of everybody go? The rest of you all and Villain went underground to contact the Circle of Spores, the massive population of myconids, of mushroom people that Paru had been raised with. And your trip was just as revealing as Oliet's, I would say. You found...
Very bittersweet.
Yes. Still very sweet, though. Found that the Circle of Spores had found itself a friend of Paru's to join it. Sniffs, the massive myconid who was Paru's bodyguard for so long in the book, has become one with the Circle of Spores, basically melded into it. Ceased to be a completely independent creature. But, and this will just be some, insight into him, understanding that someday Paru was going to come back, he didn't want to leave her completely alone, and so spawned. There are 5 identical Sniffs, who I insist are pretty much him. They're all kind of hive-minded together. It's just an extension of his person so that he can still be around. And one of those Sniffs actually joined the group as they left the underground to go seek out one of the other queens, specifically Her Majesty of the Vine and Her Majesty of Beauty, who were both hanging around each other. Oliet, you went back to Her Majesty of the Word's kingdom, I guess, where her court is located, up in the mountains, and you reunited with Sigfin, the gigantic raven with a sassy attitude, and you encountered a very different queen than you had expected. Not a different queen, but a changed queen. Her Majesty of the Word was scattered and weirdly enthusiastic and kind of all over the place and clearly very busy in the brain. And with a moment to find a bit of with a bit of patience and a moment to find some solitude between the two of you, going into her little blank page space that she uses sometimes for quiet contemplation or for secret discussions, you were able to glean a little bit of information from her that she sensed what was happening when Baba Soli merged with her book counterpart, Her Majesty of the Word. She understood that you were probably going to do it to the other queens. Merge with them, give them more information, share tactics, things like that. But figured that you probably were not going to include Her Majesty of the Trade with that. And that was going to set off, she was afraid that was going to set off big red flags. So, in order to hide what was happening or obfuscate what was happening, she felt like she needed to cause a little chaos and intentionally sowed discord between the queens in order to break them up so that the things that they were going to experience and learn would be done in isolation away from Her Majesty of the Trade. Her Majesty of the Word also seemed to join forces with her, with the Trade Queen. In a, well, one assumes a sort of keep your enemies closer kind of strategy, just to keep an eye on her. But she regrets some things that had to be done in order to do that. She hasn't spoken to her spouse, Her Majesty of the Vine, in quite some time. You're not really sure what the circumstances of that are, whether or not she actively ended things with her, or if it's just distance has been there for a long time. But speaking of Her Majesty of the Vine, the group shows up at her court and finds a very diminished woman, the Minotaur, sort of fading a little bit. She's clearly in a doldrum of a mood, and has been, seems to have been taken care of a bit by Her Majesty of Beauty, whom Verlaine finally gets to meet in the book after making the decision to become her champion. And Verlaine was clearly overcome by that experience of seeing her. As you all have experienced, that Her Majesty of Beauty is seen as the most beautiful conception or ideal that each individual person who witnesses her can think of. So everyone sees her a little differently, or dramatically differently. And as you all sort of poked at him, like, what'd she look like? He said, sunshine. And then Oliette came in. He saw Oliette come in, and I was an asshole. So, you all got together. Oh, the most important part. You all got back together, and Oliette comes with the news that Her Majesty of the Word has spent her time in sort of frantic solitude, slowly pushing chess pieces around in the Book of Faebles to create armies for you each to lead or guide, to help when the time comes to stand up against Her Majesty of the Trade. Some of which you've already sussed out. Beza, of course, the hunters of Her Majesty of the Hunt are Beza's family. They will go to arms with her. Like, they will fight for her. maybe just logistics need to be figured out, but I don't think Beza has to worry about getting permission or interest from people.
Probably not. I
No.
just have to ask Dad if I can borrow his workers.
Can I borrow your army? And Paru, intimately connected with the Circle of Spores, will probably also not have much of a problem amassing forces, which leads to factions to discuss today. The Harlbingers, a cult religion that has brewed up around our very own Furbolg. Harland, you used to have groupies and now you have acolytes. They have apparently created some sort of military thing, you know, an army. Waiting for, as they call it, the second coming of Harland.
Listen.
Wow.
Listen.
Hey,
Wow.
I regret nothing.
Which I actually don't think I've disclosed. I had just landed when you cruelly ended the session and ripped that away from us after that cliffhanger. But that's going to be the first thing I disclose when we get away from where we are now.
Yeah.
Or to a solitary.
It's up to you if you want to have that discussion in front of the queens. It's...
I mean, no.
Okay. That's fine.
But it doesn't... We can... Since everybody is aware, I'm just saying, I would be careful not to have this conversation in front of anybody but the four of us.
That is very valid. Well, yeah, I was gonna say Verlaine probably included in that.
Yes, the five of us.
So yeah, you. Oh, let's not leave the people hanging. The other organization needing to be addressed, the Hive of Displeasure, apparently we're just gonna make bug jokes today. A swarm of apparently just mean girls, who have victimized the Rangers considerably in this vie for power and territory in the Queensdom. And their queen, known only as Misery. So you'll have to address that as well. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So you all see Oliette get back, and presumably you all excuse yourselves. We need to talk, you know, champion to champion to champion to champion to champion. Yeah. And Her Majesty of Beauty nods when that is suggested, and reaches out for Her Majesty of the Vine, puts a hand on her shoulder, and is like, oh, "We should leave them alone. Come on."
See her? I thought she went back out in the snow. This will be the first
that's a
time I
good-
ever see her.
That's a good call. We'll say she's
fine
there.
either way.
We'll say she's there, because she'll bring Her Majesty of the Vine out to the tundra with her to give you guys some privacy.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so Oliette, this is the first time you have seen Her Majesty of the of Beauty. She comes in into the room, and it's up to you if you want to share what Oliette would see as a. I will clarify. The ideal of beauty is not gendered in whatsoever. It is just how the person would think of the ideal of beauty.
So we arrive, probably pretty singularly focused on getting to my friends. Question other.
Mm-hmm.
Is Siegfried outside waiting, or is she going to take off?
She is probably outside waiting.
Okay. I would
In
tell her
case
that we
you
wouldn't
need
be
anything.
long. Yeah.
Okay.
That we might need her shortly to take us somewhere. So we'll be right back.
Very well. Taxi awaiting.
Gosh, okay. I'll run in. And I definitely think upon seeing the Queen of Beauty will stop short and look a little confused and trying very much to focus on the task at hand because I'm aware of the effect that she has on people. So I think I understand what's happening, but it is very hard to tear my eyes away from her. But I will approach my friends and ask them if they want to. I really need to talk to you. Are we good? Do we need to?
No.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you see that Villain looks like he's been crying. He's not crying anymore, but he looks like he has been crying. Yeah, we're good. Let's talk.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Siegfried. I don't know if you remember Siegfried, but Siegfried's outside.
Fuck all, Raven.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She's gonna take me to get a new outfit.
Of course.
Another one?
Why?
Yes, the tutu I don't think is going to achieve what we really need to do here.
Oh, so are you gonna put the step on me, mommy outfit on?
The what?
The what?
Isn't that what you called it at the store when we were in the?
Step on. I don't understand.
Let's go talk.
That.
Let's go talk. Coups and murder and stuff. Come on. And Villain like leads Paru and Harlan. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Come on. We're gonna go.
What does that mean, Blaine?
I'll tell you when you're older. I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you when you're taller.
Fuck off. She shifts into an elk and just stares at him.
Fine. You can give us a ride.
Okay. So
I meant.
And so yeah, Her Majesty of Beauty nods and puts a hand on Her Majesty of the Vine, who you're now seeing, having that little bit of a flashback in your head that that your queen just kind of asked to check on her. And she
that's right.
she looks tired. And not as like vibrant, like the flowers and the leaves on the vines that are growing around. Her horns are almost normal sized for a female minotaur. They're not tremendously big. They're not these huge ostentatious things like they usually are. And the flowers and the leaves are kind of almost wilting. Everything is less green on her. And as Her Majesty of Beauty puts a hand on her shoulder, without Her Majesty of the Vine really changing expression or tone or stance much, you do note that a little bit of green kind of sprouts a little bit where her hand touches, and there's like flower, like it just seems like naturally occurring because of her, just in general. And she leads Her Majesty of the Vine towards the door that would lead out to the tundra.
Okay. I don't think I can help but watch them leave, but I would, to the group. Is she okay?
Not really.
Give me an insight check, Juliet.
Oh, okay.
What? You're good at those.
Am I?
Usually.
Oh,
Maybe?
actually, I'm not bad.
I was gonna say, you weren't terrible.
Terrible. 21.
21? Yeah. So you get a couple of things. One, you do not get anything overtly romantic between Beauty and Vine. It seems more of a caretaker thing. She seems much more like just looking out for a friend. It's kind of what it looks like. Mm-hmm. You get the sense, I mean, I would say when you've been in the book for long enough, hanging out with your old squad, if somebody had like a really bad breakup, they'd be like a wreck for a while, you know, like just mascara everywhere and like and just wailing and just I want to get drunk and eat chocolate, like that's just basically the vibe. Then they get into like kind of quiet sad mode, this seems like quiet zap mode.
Second stage. Got it. Okay. All right.
She just seems despondent in a very profound way.
Okay. Okay. I don't.
So what you got, Sunshine?
Well, the queen of the word is not doing so well.
I think she can join the club. He kind of
Seriously.
glances back at the door where Vine disappeared to.
Well, we are learning, clearly, that there are many expressions of grief. And, this one is a big time downer, and the drinking is a little more on my level, but also a little concerning. She's
Yeah,
kind
just
of on
little.
a different. She seems a little frazzled, is the word I'm looking for. She seems a little frazzled, which is not
Okay.
right. That's not like her.
Yeah.
Like what kind of frazzled? Like
And she put her hair up, like in a bun, a messy one. and
Verlaine
not a
looks at
cute
you
one.
like, why the fuck does that matter? It's like, oh god, a
matters.
bun.
a
Trust me.
messy bun? Like hair hanging down? Messy bun?
Like, doesn't have the time or maybe the capacity to take care of oneself, so it's easier to get it out of your face than to exercise your regular self-care.
It's like that time
Okay.
in Rose Upon the River where you just used like one of them little dingle hoppers to hold your hair in place. You just, yeah, I think that was
The chopsticks.
yeah,
Dingle.
that's the ones.
Goddamn.
Worse than that.
Anyway, so bad. Is what
So
you're
bad.
saying.
But I did get a little information. One,
Okay.
this mess is her fault. Intentionally. She has put a bunch of spokes in the wheels in an effort to break the bicycle completely, to distract from the fact that there are moves being made. It looks like there might be far more widespread consequences to these actions, but she's doing her best.
Why'd she have to do that?
Well, long story short, if she instigates enough chaos and trouble, it gives us a little bit of cover, so to speak.
Oh, so that, who doesn't catch on to the fact that things are changing?
Right, and that the Babas didn't communicate with her and have reached out, but just not to her.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, that could have been bad.
little worried. She definitely can get in and out of the Queen of the Words territory freely. It's pretty unpleasant. But I have an idea about that. I'll come back to that. What we have to do now is we might need some additional backup. Like, how do you fancy yourselves generals? Generally.
Generals? I don't know about that. I'm more of a frontline fighter. I could probably talk my dad into doing it.
Oh, you mean like, okay, so you mean like Beza running the Rangers and shit. Like, sure. I can see that.
Beza has the Rangers, and then Paru, of course, has all the mushroom folk, and
Right, yeah.
Harland, you have your just bevy of thirsty
For battle.
individuals.
Thirsty for blood, clearly. Yeah.
well, perhaps mine once they realize what's going on here. But
Oh,
I'm also
fuck.
supposed to. Yeah. I still don't know what we're gonna do about that. And then, do you remember what's her name? Lika Shell? Was that her name?
Yeah, I remember that bitch. What about her?
Wasn't that the spider lady you kicked out of a group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it got worse.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but she might be back, or one of my other former friends might be running that anthill in the middle of the desert.
You
I
mean
think that might be my fault.
the ones targeting the hunters?
Yeah, that was never. I would never.
I know.
Okay. That's a byproduct of me not being here to keep them in line. We're gonna call it that anyway.
Sure.
So
Yeah, let's go with that.
that's what I know so far. Also, I don't think Trade knows that you're here, Blaine. And the Queen of the Word agrees that as the longer we keep you away from her, the better, because she will immediately know about this shift.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a secret that the champions are back, and I did play nice with her before.
Oh, yeah.
So if we need a buffer,
we'll figure something out, but you don't have to talk to her. That is, if she
I end up having to, is all I'm saying.
Well, let's cross that bridge when we get to it, because, you know, I'd much rather stab her than talk to her.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I would love that for you.
Just be sure to keep your tongue away from her.
I don't have one.
I was talking about Oliette.
I will do my best.
She doesn't have to touch someone with a tongue to cut them with it.
Oh my god, Lisa. Love you so much. What is this feeling? So that's kind of where we're at.
Maternal? Is that the feeling?
This feeling.
This
pride?
child
Is this
needs
love?
protection.
Yeah. So that's where we're at.
Right.
I don't really know how to tackle this.
One army at a time?
Yeah. I mean, are we supposed to bring them to heal, or like make a deal with them, or like what are we supposed to do?
I mean, she didn't say like.
Well, you've got those step on me boots, so it might help.
Okay.
Sorry.
Again, I got taller and you didn't tell me, so
It's all right. I don't really understand either. I just know that's how she described it to the tailor.
Don't worry about it. It's a thing. Just it's fine. It's fine.
You about it. How about at dinner, Paru? I'll explain it at dinner.
okay, that's okay.
For now, I don't know. It might be a matter of just garnering influence first, and then checking back in to see what moves need to be made, because she didn't really give me a, like, be here at dawn kind of a directive, so I don't know if there are more steps in the plan yet. I think we just got to make sure we have backup.
All right, so we got to make sure we're in charge of things first. I mean, I'm not technically in charge of the hunters, but I also don't think I'll have any problems getting them to fight with me.
They love you. And especially, well, maybe just don't tell them that the Hive of Displeasure is going to be there. I would hate for them to get discouraged.
I mean, yeah.
I feel a little bad about that, and that's not common, so that's saying something. So where do we start?
Well, if answer me this: if you were the last person to find out that there was going to be a party, how would you feel? would you feel more inclined to show up to crash said party, or would you be less likely to show up?
Depends. If the party is for me, then obviously I'm going to be the last one to know, and that's usually the case, so it's fine.
Well, the party in this instance is the battle against Queen of the Trade, and the last person to find out is, in this hypothetical situation, is the Hive of Displeasure.
Hold up, are we supposed to disclose it to them? Or just tell them they have to fight with us?
Again, I don't. It's a matter of. It might depend. Like maybe the Harbingers. Never gonna get over that. Maybe they'd be jazzed about the idea of like dying for Harland. I mean, what greater honor than throwing yourself in harm's way for your hero? But I don't think the Hive is gonna operate that way. So we might have to be a little bit more select. I don't know. Haven't nailed that down 100%.
Maybe you're gonna have to dethrone a bitch again.
I mean, that's kind of like our end goal anyway.
Well,
is dethroning a bitch.
It's like practice.
a minor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think of it. What's it called? What's it called? You're always talking about with the theater thing. Oh,
Dress rehearsal.
Dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like what's that other thing you were talking about? Tech Week?
Yeah.
We don't want to call this Tech Week. Everything goes wrong during Tech Week. Just
so like cold open.
Don't ask how I know that.
I mean, honestly, cold open might fit the Hive of Displeasure.
Anyway.
So
those are plenty of analogies. Thank you, good ladies.
we can again, whatever you think is best, stick together. Or if we think maybe Harland might meet more success in my absence.
Well, if we don't tell them who you are.
Oh, Elaine. Oh, that's cute.
I did not miss that laugh.
Anyway, here we are.
I don't know about you. I'd rather do stuff together, but it's up to you.
I think I would appreciate the backup going. I have no idea what to expect of.
Yeah.
You know, the two groups used to run those meetings by themselves, and I was just there to kind of help steer things in a particular direction one way or another, but they ran the show, and I can't imagine what an army of them what I could do to an army of them. I don't know what kind of convincing I can do, but I'll give it a shot. But I'd appreciate backup.
It sounds like they kind of worship you, so you might not have to do too much. Except, not get kidnapped by your cult.
We won't let that happen.
Nope.
Is that a risk?
I don't know.
It's always a risk. That's why you keep security detail with you.
I never thought that y'all would be my entourage.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we've always been an entourage of at least either yours or Oliet's. That's been pretty much clear from the get-go, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing first?
I say we go visit mine first, and then we see what's up with the Hive after that.
Okay. Haru, do you need to say goodbye to the Queen of the Vine, or?
That's probably a good idea. I don't want her to feel...
When are we gonna tell the other queens?
I think maybe once we have the backup, I'm supposed to go check back in after this, so...
Alright.
Let me confer with my sniffs and at least get...
It's at that point, Oliet, you see that there is a large... You see Sniffs, and he's just...
Hey, you haven't changed a bit.
Has like a... kind of looks to Paru, like, don't worry.
Paru, like, gestures over her shoulder to, like, the 4.
Only one of them
Hits.
came. Only one of them came.
Oh, I was like, holy
She's
shit.
got no way. She doesn't know. There's no way to know. He just like. Sorry, he has 4 fingers.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
There's actually more of them now.
Because I don't get it. She is asking if Sniffs understands.
If Sniffs understands.
The whole step on me thing because she didn't get it. Tessa wants to know how that came about.
I'm curious about information is,
You don't think that the mushrooms get into some kicky shit?
listen,
I mean, it could have been from a
How
shared
many music
memory.
festivals has he been to?
It's the
That's
M
true.
of BDSM.
Oh my god.
wow.
BDS. My goodness. Wow.
Oh
Okay.
no! Oh no! Step on me, umami.
God.
I see a shirt.
Oh my god.
I see a shirt.
What? Just a mushroom and
Just
fuck
add
me
it to the
pups?
list.
Is that what we're?
Add
Yep.
it to the list.
Sorry, Lane.
I do not apologize to her.
Do not
that's a good
apologize
one.
for that. Do not
That's
apologize
beautiful.
for that. That was amazing.
God
That
damn
was
it.
phenomenal.
Thank you,
Fuck,
Laura.
Thank you.
Oh man. Anyway.
So, but can you round up the rest of the Myconids and see if we can't get at least our contingency ready to go?
And he nods.
High five.
He goes for a fist bump when you go for a high five, and then you do the other way. He goes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, most of the hunters that are in charge are still the ones I grew up with, so I don't think I'll have too much trouble getting them to work with me on it.
Oh, what's your brother's name? Iverick.
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 Let's get Iverick.
I think he's here with us, isn't he?
It's a cool cat.
Maybe. We'll say he is, sure.
He was traveling with us.
Yeah, we'll say
did we
he
just,
is.
Did we just loop him and Sniffs into our conversation?
No, that you called them over.
So Iverick,
Yes.
so
I have to put
This
a
is
hand
gonna
on my hip to do this appropriately.
this is gonna sound a little weird since I just got back.
Everything has sounded weird since you've arrived. I wouldn't worry about it.
I mean, that's fair. So there's gonna be probably a pretty large fight coming up soon.
Glorious battle, you say?
Yes.
Count me in.
Something that the hunters can really sink their teeth into.
I already said
Um,
count me in.
Yes. But we need the rest. We're gonna probably need the rest of the hunters too.
How big of a fight are we talking?
Like end of a chapter.
That doesn't mean anything.
Well,
What if it was a short story?
Well, hopefully
Epic.
it's going to
That's
be
a
a bedtime
valid.
story.
That's a valid.
it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be the
Count
kind
us
of
in.
battle that people write songs about.
Count us in.
Fantastic.
I
Can you go
don't
back-
need to know any details. Wait, I actually might need to know some details. What am I doing?
Can you go back to Dad and talk to him about it and see about getting the hunters ready?
You have met Father, have you not?
Yeah. I'm assuming the hunters are mostly already
Okay,
ready, but
I'll
it's just
try
like that
to
extra
convince
level.
him.
Like 2 to 3 days or so, we might need to call on them. I don't know exactly a timeline.
I'll take the time needed to convince them.
Okay. All right.
They will be prepared whenever you are ready.
Sounds good.
Trust me, they've been bored out of their minds.
This works perfectly then. They definitely won't be soon. And she gives him a hug.
Very small.
Yep. Well, right now anyway.
It's very impressive. Just wait.
I look forward to it. Away! And he leaves.
Or we can wait out here if you need to.
Yeah, let me just do this real quick, and she'll pop into.
Wait. I'm gonna reach into my bag and grab. I'm gonna pull a ribbon out of one of my books, like just something that's been marking my book, and scribble something on it really quick with a quill. Will you give this to her? It might be better received from you since she loves you, but just.
Aww. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, just let her have that. And it says, some stories end in tragedy, but you can always start a new story.
Okay, yeah, we'll be right back.
Banana knife.
That is what my son just sent me as what Paru would use as a weapon.
Banana knife. Sorry.
Oh goodness, I see a donation.
I do see a donation. Thank you, Lane.
Oh dear.
That's lovely.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Good
An
banana
NPC.
knife.
An NPC.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm excited about.
So, yeah, Paru steps back into the throne room.
Okay. You see, Sure, we'll do this now. You see at the in the throne room, you see the Vines chair. And you see that opening of vining that led out to Her Majesty of Beauty's realm. And as you turn around, you see there is someone standing near the portal, or near that entryway. A tiefling woman, or tiefling-like woman, you assume, with gray skin, some freckles. She's curvy. She's sitting there, or she's standing there against the gate with a book, and she seems to be writing or drawing in it as she's just kind of casually standing there. Seems like she's like posted guard or something at the door to Her Majesty of Beauty's realm.
Hi. Did you see where Queen of the Vine went?
One moment, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
She takes another 30 seconds or so. And she finishes. You now realize she is definitely drawing. There we go. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
Queen of the Vine. Where did she head off to?
She went with my lady into the tundra. I was. Is there something you need to pass along? That was what she told me to do.
Well, my companions and I are heading out. I wanted to say goodbye personally and give her a quick hug and everything, so.
Oh.
I can just.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can, And she looks back. I can find them. Just give me a moment.
Yeah. I'm Paru, by the way.
Hi.
I don't.
Amadine.
Nice to meet you.
Just give me a moment and I'll, and she turns with this quill, and this quill goes from this kind of very simple black, almost a raven feather. And as she steps into the tundra space, you watch as the raven feather starts elongating and getting more elaborate, and it becomes this, like, feathered edged, sort of, like, brilliant, flowing, quill that, has almost like a galaxy inside of it. And she reaches up with her quill as if she's gonna write on the sky. And you see, as she kind of starts writing, an aurora borealis starts forming in the sky, with some runes you don't know. It's just some basic, like, symbology.
Is
but
that
it's
your
all
version
moving.
of Skywrite? Because that's freaking amazing. I've never thought about using Skywrite like that before. I've always done it with clouds and spores. Holy crap, I didn't think about doing it with the Aurora Borealis.
Oh, no, that's
Oh, sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just, it's a gift from my lady.
No, that's cool. Sorry.
It's
I'm
okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just, you know, she doesn't say it, but it's that gesture of, it's just a lot. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a usual reaction to me. Cool. I'm just gonna.
She'll be here in a moment, I'm sure. She usually is very attentive.
No worries. I'll just.
And you just kind of sit there for a second. So, your friend, the one who just, I get the they just swore fealty to my lady?
Yeah, Villain. Yeah.
Yes.
They're awesome.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to meet them yet. But of course there aren't many of us, so of course, welcome.
Villain is. They are one of the bravest people I have ever met. And they've overcome a lot. And I am excited to see them move in a direction that will hopefully bring them happiness. Because they are deserving of it.
That's good. I'm glad for them.
Are they gonna get to the right in the sky like you just did?
Hi. I don't know. I'm not sure what my lady's intentions are, for Villain.
Well, hopefully nothing but good things.
Well, very rarely has anything she ever has done been anything more than very kind. No, I'm not certain, especially given that the deal he made was apparently not with her. My lady hasn't really disclosed all of the details. But she has been
kissing and telling.
That is the weird. Well, I don't know. Actually, I was gonna say it's a weird analogy, but I don't have anything to compare it to, so I'm not sure where it is actually.
Sure. Amadine just kind of looks between you two like, okay, you're both a lot. Gotcha.
We are all a lot. Spoiler alert.
Weirdly, only one not a lot right now is probably Villain. He's a little more subdued right now. She has just been referring to him as her champion. So I'm not certain what that entails.
Well, as the champion of the Queen of the Vine, I can tell you for me it entails learning and carrying out orders and supporting generally when my lady asks of it. So I imagine it's pretty similar for them.
That sounds about right, I guess.
I imagine Villain and Beza and I are posted up like in the doorway. I don't want to speak for Beza, but I can't hear anything that's going on.
That's fine.
But I'm definitely waiting to see when
Sure.
they come back in.
Yeah. And Villain's just kind of waiting. It looks awkward. He's not looking where Paru went, and he's just kind of sort of fidgeting.
They can seem a little standoffish sometimes, and they can be a little withdrawn, but they
That's
have nothing
okay.
but
I like
passive
quiet
affections.
people.
They are very quiet.
Oh, yes.
You're welcome, Lee.
Harp.
Yeah, it's fine. So yeah. I'm sure they'll fit in. It'll be fine. As you're all like reaching the end of any semblance of comfortable conversation, you catch a glimpse of reflection in the ocean, and sort of around the way around the rocks you see Her Majesty of Beauty coming with Her Majesty of the Vine. They're just, slowly walking. They seem to get to you a lot closer, despite the fact that they're not walking very fast. That is a very good reference, Kyle. Eventually they get up to you. Her Majesty of Beauty lets go of Vine's arm, like her forearm, and she walks up with a sort of a quiet sigh. Hello.
Hi.
Was there something else that you needed or wanted to ask?
I just wanted to let you know that we were heading out, and I wanted to make sure that you knew that everything's gonna be okay. Oh, and this is for you from Juliet.
And she looks down at the quill.
Bookmark.
Bookmark. Thank you, bookmark. And she just kind of very gingerly reaches her hand out for it.
I promise. It's all gonna be okay.
She sort of slowly grasps her hand around it and kind of brings it to her chest.
Remember what you taught me. Even the most beautiful of plants can bloom in the dark.
So we have reached that point in our partnership where you quote me back at me.
Isn't it wonderful? Just how much have I absorbed of all of your knowledge?
And you get like the tiniest crack of a smile.
We'll see you soon, okay?
She puts the bookmark down at her side and then reaches out to embrace you.
Yeah, she gives.
It's not nearly as hard hugging her when she doesn't have her gigantic fuck-all horns. But there is obviously something a little lesser about her presence when she doesn't have them. And she sort of holds on tight and gives you a little squeeze. You've brought a little more sunlight into my court today. Thank you.
Well, it'll be spring again before you know it.
Well, we could knock a hole in the wall if that would help, because we could just put. As a matter of fact, hang on. Just to say,
there's a quiet sigh from Amadine, who has continued working in her book.
He grabs his water flask and like pops the cork off of it, and then grabs the top of it and just makes a throwing gesture at the wall. And the hole is the top of the water. The water skin is now just in the wall.
Boom.
Yeah, see, we just do that, but a couple more times we get more sunlight in.
Her Majesty of Beauty is just like looking up at the wall with this sort of charmed amusement. Like, I knew that was a good idea to give you.
He's used it a few times.
Although I can't do it to people, which makes me a little irritated.
That is for the best and how it's designed, Harlan. I didn't want any accidents. Unintentional, of course, but I figured it was for the best.
I'd only use my powers for good.
I trust that. You would only intentionally use your powers for good.
Yes.
Beza, you two should keep looking in the book, though, when you get back.
Oh,
There's still pages.
all right.
Oh,
You found one of the smaller gifts I left.
oh, it's like unwrapping a present, but it's already unwrapped. So it's just you just turn the page and then there's a present there.
More of a scavenger hunt, but sure.
Scavenger. So I have to.
You have to
we gotta-
find the page, that's all. I was just trying to make
Right.
it
Okay.
fun.
I'm sorry. Analogies are still kind of
It's okay.
rough around the edges sometimes.
But you got that idiom, so you're getting there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been called an idiom a lot in my life.
Oh, Harland. Gives him a little pat on the face.
Oh, he's smirking.
Queen of Beauty.
Mhm.
That he's being to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Amadine has started sketching a little bit. She sketched something down really, really fast. And she's like cleaning it up right now. But I'll say Harland, while Paru and Her Majesty the Vine were embracing, that is when Amadine started paying more attention, and she was watching them as she was drawing.
I see the Queen of Beauty put her hands on Harland.
Just like a, oh, honey.
Yeah. I truly, I think that an involuntary tear would probably come to Oliette's eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I see what you did, you son of a bitch.
Turn to the fidgeting Verlaine. You all right? Just kind of like wiping my face.
Are you?
I'm fine, but you're acting really weird.
I'm fine.
Did you cry?
Shut up.
Did you? Is that a yes?
Yes? You remember he's trying to tell the truth more. Yeah? Why? So what?
A good cry?
Sure.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like a thing.
Doesn't have to be a thing, but you crying is kind of a thing because it's like once every, what, 20 years?
To be honest, it has been happening more often lately. Luckily, less now that I don't, choke on the ocean.
Okay. Throw up crying isn't actually crying. It doesn't count.
Oh, okay.
Trust me.
Good to know.
Okay, well, if it is a bad crying, are you going to tell us?
It wasn't bad. I promise. Whatever that's worth.
They make promises now. That is wild. I love to see it.
And that's on character development. No, it's fine. Yeah. I promise. It wasn't. It wasn't bad.
Wanted to check.
So you said we had, armies. Well, you all had armies.
Do you think the Queen of Beauty has anyone that might? I know it's a little different, but
she said a couple things. I think she might have something that I can bring to the table, I guess.
It's helpful.
I'll talk to her. When yeah.
Imagine we're gonna have to make a couple more rounds. A few more rings around the rosy, so check back in.
Yeah. I'd rather get the variables nailed down first.
I'll kill you if you say that I asked you this, but what if I can't do this?
What?
Last time it was just us and
be a meaner.
Really, what if I can't?
No such thing. You have done enough that I've seen lately that there is not a lot I don't think you can do when you A, really have to, and B, when you put a tiny bit of effort in. And if it doesn't work out exactly how you got it in your head, you got the rest of us and we'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, we kick some bitches in the shins. Right? Worst case scenario.
Oh, I thought you said best case. I'm so
Worst.
sorry. I was tuning out a little bit.
This is okay, so this is what happens when you have negative stuff in your brain and you can't like let it out. Like it just starts changing all the words you hear. Trust me. Yeah, I just psychoanalyzed you. It's fucking weird.
Not. I mean, I'll allow it. Don't let it happen again.
This much, yeah. It's called, I think she called it insightfulness.
I like this look on you.
You don't? I don't know.
No.
I think I look pretty good in shining armor.
Whatever.
Uh-huh.
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna figure it out. Okay.
All right, well, I'm gonna go outside and see if Siegfried knows where the nearest shopping district that's open is, and I'll meet you all outside.
Dear gods.
It's gonna be so good.
We're really gonna
And
do
I think I
shopping
have to treat Haru to
montage.
dinner. I think I have some things to explain.
So what you're saying is we're going to the outlet mall before we amass an army to fight a rogue queen.
You already have your new getup. I cannot show up in this. They will eat me alive. We'll be done before we even start.
First of all, it's a shield. Second of all,
Whatever.
yeah, okay. Go.
Do I need to change out of my overalls?
You look perfect the way you are.
You might
Don't
want to put
let
something
for
on.
you?
Don't let anyone change you, Harland. Anyone.
Or except for me. I got this for you actually, and I'm gonna give Harlan
really hard
the
there.
Henley that I had made for him.
Okay, that's fair. It's very
Trust
fair.
me, it will. You're perfect as you are, but
It's gonna give you a
It's going
+5 to
to
your
work.
charisma.
it's going to work in our favor. Just leave the top 2 buttons unbuttoned. That's the key. Oh,
God
and a
damn
good
it.
3/4 sleeve. Like push it up a little bit.
Not
Trust
you-
me.
Just push it up, not roll it.
Well, you should roll it, but like in a way that's like casual. Like you didn't mean to. It just happened to get rolled up because you were doing such hard work.
Maybe
You know
do
what I
some
mean?
jumping jacks before you talk to
Yeah,
anybody.
like roll it once or twice and then push it up so it looks more effortless.
I'm gonna go try this on. Is that
Yes, please do.
So he like takes off the straps of his overalls.
Oh,
and,
right
like,
here? Okay.
Just like, it's got the buttons on the side, so it stays up. You know, and, like, so it's like
I
there,
feel like
and just-
every single person in the room, including Valade, is just like, hilarious.
It's then that you find out that his shirt isn't actually one of the buttons that like goes through and like a true button. It's one of the snap buttons.
Nice.
Okay, so either we are to either to understand that Harland could not figure out regular buttons, like he went to the Feywild Oshkosh Bagosh, or he has tearaway overalls for a completely different reason.
Oh boy.
No, those are the khaki ones.
This is you got this particular pair you got from Open Mike's cousin, Magic Mike.
My God, Angela. Bonk.
Thank you. I don't regret any of this. So Harland, and this is entirely Chris's fault. I just want this for the record for everybody. Harland, as you put on the Henley and you unbutton 2 buttons and you squish up the sleeves, you're gonna get advantage on persuasion checks when you're talking to the Harbingers.
Listen.
Look, Henleys are
I mean,
very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
You give their Jesus a Henley? I mean, what are you gonna... God damn it, Chris.
Mhm.
Well
More
played.
specifically,
Well
Damn it, in
she
this
gave
scenario.
her hot Jesus.
I'm giving you hot Jesus.
Hot blue Jesus.
Hot.
Give me that hot blue Jesus.
Blue raspberry slushy Jesus. Thank you. Oshkosh Fagosh. That's very good.
Very good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why did
All
my
right, I
brain
like
just
it.
go, if it was an orcish store, it would be Fagab. Anyway, that happens. Even, like, you hear Valade, like, mutter under his breath at you, like, oh, fuck you. And he walks away.
I think it's rather fetching.
It looks good.
Wonderful.
Oh, cob macabre. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Very
There it
good.
is.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay. So, quick stop at the store, and then the Harbingers. That is
Yep.
the worst.
The Harlan cult.
That one. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Yep, yep,
Okay,
yep.
You in?
Plan.
Cool. Sweet. I will try to steal one more glance into the throne room, and then head outside to see Siegfried.
As you're looking for Her Majesty of Beauty, just like get another glimpse.
Just one more.
As you do that and you start looking away, you see that Valane's kind of watching you, noting that you did that. Gives you a little like a little nod of like, I get it.
Breath, I would just say, I don't know if it's accurate, but it feels nice. Anyway, I'll head outside.
And you head outside for Siegfried. The Raven is sunbathing. She's just 15 feet tall, just hanging out.
I think we're almost ready to go. We need to make a quick stop at one place, and then if you would be so kind as to drop us off Where are the harbingers again?
In the anthill.
The mount.
Oh no, they're in the mountains. They're up in the mountains.
The mountains. Okay, yeah. I will describe where we know that they are. But first,
Ooh.
can we get like just a quick, like a 15-minute pit stop anywhere where there's like a market? I need. Her Majesty said that you would know where I could get an outfit. Maybe something a little like the vibe that you've got going on. Feathers, black, shiny, scary, hot.
Okay. She wasn't expecting that part. You wish to be a raven.
On 2 gorgeous blue legs, yes.
You wish to have a raven vibe.
Yes.
I suppose we could make that a stop. Once the others are here, that is.
Okay.
Her disgruntledness is more just sighs. She's not like actually gonna say no, but and we'll say that the group starts making their way out. But before they do, Her Majesty of Beauty glances over to Villain, and without saying anything, Villain sort of kind of perks up a little bit like he heard something, and he looks back to her, and he walks over to Her Majesty of Beauty, like she might have just said something in his head, and they walk over, and she pulls Villain to the side a little bit and into the snow and says something very quietly to them. And Villain has trouble looking at her, like in the eye. And she kind of like props his chin up with her finger to meet her eyes. And she gives a very gentle smile and says something else to him, and he nods and closes his eyes and opens them again. And Her Majesty of Beauty gets a even bigger, warm smile on her face. And she kind of strokes the side of his cheek, and he walks away. And when he turns away, the rest of you see that Villain's eyes have changed. Well, his eye has changed. The artificial one is still sort of there, but it's become like a milky white. And you see that Villain's natural eye is now a little larger and bright white, ghostly white, with sort of this natural sort of shade around it. You've never seen him look like that before. You've maybe heard of changelings, or maybe heard tell of what they look like, and Villain never really gave that vibe off. Like, he kind of just looked like a humanoid with very pale skin. You realize this might be the first time you actually see Villain exactly how he looks. And he walks away from Her Majesty of Beauty, gives Amadine a little bit of a nod, and Amadine stops him, rips a page out of her book and kind of folds it and gives it to him, and passes along a message, and Villain nods. And when he joins the rest of you, you're all heading out of the court, and they catch up to Paru. Paru,
what's up?
Amadine wanted to give you something. And
Okay.
Amadine, he hands you a folded sheet of parchment from her book, her sketchbook. And when you open it, there is this beautiful, it almost looks watercolor, but it's really delicate, a of you and Her Majesty of the Vine embracing.
She looks over and just gives a smile. Thank you.
And she goes back to drawing. And she casually, still drawing, nose in the book, turns and heads back out into the tundra, and you see the portal kind of shut behind Her Majesty, and you all head outside. So, Oliette, your friends are back, joining you outside with Sigfin, and Verlaine is like, sort of, I don't remember if I said Verlaine was in different clothes when you guys got here. I don't remember if I said that or not. But regardless, he comes out, and you do note the slight difference in his face. That his eyes are white instead of their usual very light blue. Almost can't tell where he's looking. They're that washed out. And it looks like the artificial one has like mimicked the color. So, shopping trip?
Yeah.
Siegfried knows where we need to go.
I do. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Looks to Harlan. 4, 5.
I can, like...
You count as half, dear, I know.
Well,
For weight
I mean,
purposes. For carrying purposes. And looks at Sniffs. No.
I can carry it.
You can carry him. He was a spore when I first encountered you, dear. He was a speck of dust compared to now.
Can carry him, Paru.
Never mind, I forgot that I'm not a Circle of the Moon druid. I cannot carry.
Oh no! It's almost like you're a Circle of Spores druid.
Oh my.
I always forget that other druids do not get flying forms.
Oh right.
I forget that. And I'm like, oh no. I
Takes
can't
way
do
longer.
that.
And Sniffs kind of raises his hand to you, Paru, like no, don't worry about it, like that kind of expression. And he kind of pats his chest, and points to the ground where you see there's mushrooms fucking everywhere in this place now. You see that there's a couple of spores, and he kind of points down.
Ah, gotcha.
And you seem to get it, and he nods.
See you
And he does this thing you taught him. You're welcome. You're welcome. And except it's a big buff guy. And you all get aboard Sigfin, or hang on to her claws or whatever. And she takes off. As you all start getting higher and higher up, you all... Oh, I see what you were laughing at. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Things happen in our private chat during game, and you don't have to worry about it. That's very true, Mitch. I'm glad Paru realized that she doesn't have flying now than after she, leaps off a cliff trying to fly.
Goldfish.
You start climbing higher and higher up into the sky, looking over the Queensdom. You get a almost map-like view of things as you're flying. You see the desert off to the side with the ant hill, the sort of termite mound structure. You see the huge growth of fungal, it's like a fungal forest off to one side up against a mountain. It looks like someone just like smeared a chia pet up the side of the mountain, but made of mushrooms. And you see several things along the mountains. including what appears to be a large, almost cathedral keep-like structure. It's very Dark Souls. And then Sigfinn makes a turn towards some very charming little forest with bright green and fuchsia trees. It's like Lisa Frank threw up on everything. And Sigfinn starts heading down and sort of chatters up to you, Oliette, and says, "They're a lot, so, you know, be nice. They're very good at what they do, and they'll get you exactly what you want. Trust me."
Okay.
As with most things here, well, actually not with most things, more so than most things here, looks can be deceiving.
Or, okay. I will take your word for it.
Looks can be deceiving in the sense that Olliot will buy a dress, but it will actually be invisible and won't actually be a dress, or
No.
An idea.
Not like that. Sort of. Whew. I've missed our banter, Harlan.
Banter. Okay, yeah, in and out.
That's what she said.
I
still don't know what that means.
No, Oliette said
once.
that she had to go take Party Eats. You're going to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, okay.
Never.
Now I want In-N-Out Burger.
I would never
Mm-hmm.
die on this Whataburger hill. Anyway,
Wow. It's
okay. Regardless, wow, are we about to have our first fight? I mean,
over this. It's
over
really,
this, yeah.
It's really worth it.
It doesn't exist in California, so I've never had it.
That's fair. Okay, I guess I'll just hop down.
Okay. So you hop down and you're in this glorious little like Alice in Wonderland looking. I didn't mean to make the music creepy. Let me actually change the music to be a bit more amusing. Yep, we're gonna do this. So you see this Alice in Wonderland style little forest, and it's like glowing. You've never been over here. You were like, ugh, pastels, really, and you just like never came over to this side of the forest before. It's also been a very long time. And Sigfinn lets out a very loud whistle, like a bird call kind of noise. And there is some shifting in the trees, and from the bushes you see these bizarre, like the whistle sound echoes through the forest, and as if by instinct a bunch of creatures like leap out of the bushes like scared of the noise. So you see like these deer-like creatures, but they're super long, elongated, like everything is very, they're like, and they fuck off. But fluttering down from a tree, and hopping down from a tree and popping out of a little puddle, you see these probably the cutest things you have ever seen in your life. They are little, colorful, furry, kind of gremlin-looking things. They're all covered in fur, they're in various colors, and they all have, like, little glowing, like, headpieces or little gems or something. They just all look like fucking Fraggle Care Bears. And there's, like, a handful of them. There's maybe, like, 6 or 7 of them, and they all pop up. And Sigfinn Her Majesty of the Word has has offered a boon to this her champion. You are to do as she asks.
Sigrun?
Good luck. I'll be here. And the little furry guys kind of trot up to you a little bit. One of them in particular, a little green guy with a big shock of green hair sticking up out of his head, kind of looks up at you. These things are probably less than a foot tall. And reaches up with a hand for yours.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will take its hand.
And you reach real low, and he's just...
Oh my god, they're so cute.
They're really cute.
Oh no. Oh no.
And so you follow this little creature towards a gigantic tree, also ridiculously cutesy. It's like trolls live there, basically. Like magic wishing trolls. Everything's a little oversaturated, and they hop up towards this tree, and it's like a big tree house, but it's all tree. It's all been grown into this space, and you see that there's like some branches that have kind of slowly been grown into steps, and it just does this little like hop up the steps, which is basically hop, 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 because it's very tiny and his feet don't quite fit. So, and you all follow, and he leads you into a room full of colorful things. All of it looks like moss, growing everywhere, and anything that's probably furniture also covered in moss in different colors. There's little dealy bobs coming out of a bunch of them that are all sparkly, and like there's colors and stuff coming out. And the little green guy leads you over to a chair and wanders away.
Yeah, okay, all right. Does it gonna get on my... Okay, all right. It's moss and fishnets don't mix. That's fine. It's fine.
Shockingly comfortable when you actually do eventually sit on it. Okay. And then a bunch of them just kind of scurry around like fucking Cinderella mice. And a little red one pops up, has a bit of a Fu Manchu kind of mustache, hops up on the table, and just waits.
Okay. Great aesthetic. Kind of need the exact opposite of this. No offense. It's for a very specific job. Yeah. I'm just gonna describe. I'm not gonna put it on. I'm just gonna describe what I need to them. Head to toe. Give them the outfit description. Hopefully they can execute this. Do I need to come back, or should I wait? Just wait? Okay. Yep. Okay, yep. I will sit on this moss some more.
And the little red one gathers a bunch of them up, and they all flutter to the tabletop, and there's just a whole bunch of them. And you watch him mime out, and then kicking, or rather stepping. That's what he's miming that. And they all go, and they all head away. So a whole bunch of them start scurrying around. They pull out they start ripping moss off the walls and taking a big chunk of it and bringing it up to sort of a mannequin. oh, this is also really good music for this. They also start running around and then they rip off a piece of like bright pink, throw it up onto the mannequin. And the red one with the little mustache is like, he has a bunch of like pins in his mouth, and he's like.
I said black.
Rips off another bright green, ends up on the thing. Another one, there's like, it's like speckly with like fuchsia dots on it, puts it on. And with every swath of moss, you're like, oh dear lord, this is gonna be terrible. And eventually,
my credit card.
Yep. And the red one like looks at you and goes, hits the ground and puts his hand up next to the hem.
So no, not a skirt this time. It needs to be pants. These colors are beautiful. But okay. It's fine. I trust you.
It's a trust the process kind of attitude. And every time someone passes you, every time one of the little ones passes you by, like with the mouse, like they eventually there's this gigantic, like big shoulder pad, like long sleeved, like ghillie suit on the mannequin, made out of all these different colors, and eventually, the little red one, who's got a charm on his chest, that's in a little diamond shape, and he starts kind of humming to himself, and all the other ones start circling around the mannequin. It's very end of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, around the tree. And he puts his hands out. This fireball just heads towards the moss, and all of it burns off. And you see underneath it gorgeous black leather with some feather affectations to it. You gotta.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect. Yes, I'm sorry. Beautiful. Great. I'm not gonna wear it.
They all go, yay!
This is okay. Not gonna wear it out. I don't need it yet. But I'm just gonna. Can you just pack it up and then?
I mean, did you want to at least try it on?
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't hurt. I mean, I'm not here. I'm totally here,
right.
but
okay.
I'm not here.
Fine. I'll try it on, and then we'll pack it up and
You
we'll
made
go.
Harlan put the Henley on, is all I'm saying.
I didn't make him. I gave a gift to all of us.
He doesn't respond, but he doesn't argue the point.
Yeah. All right. So I'll go in, I guess, to this. Oh God! Just thinking about getting naked in a room covered in moss is making me feel.
Oh my God.
But yes, I will.
They have a little changing room. They send you over to it, and it's like, it's entirely filled with mirrors, except it's water. Walls, ceiling, everything. It's like watery surface. It's cool. It's very trippy.
Okay. Yep. That's fine.
It's like you're in an empty aquarium.
Being changed in front of a Stargate.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Yep. I will try it on. I assume it fits like a glove.
Oh yeah.
Like
I
a
didn't want to
dragon.
overly share that they were definitely like, a few of them just like hopped on your lap or on your shoulder and were like, and then they're done. They eyeballed it.
I would have been like, pull it in another inch. I gotta just to impress. In another inch.
They're very good at like eyeballing.
Sure they
measurements.
are. Yeah, but essentially it is a high-waisted set of leather like jodhpurs. So they're pants, but they're a little bit flared at the hip, and they're up really high, thigh-high black leather boots that are tied all the way up the front. there is a long-sleeved like mesh shirt with like a high collar. So the collar and the cuffs are satin. The rest of the shirt is completely mesh. And the buttons are a dark, like shiny crimson color. And there are little crimson details that I would have added for my tail, as well as tips of my wings. And then there is finally, and I won't put this on because I need it for dramatic effect for these bitches, but there is a black circlet that has a little bit of, it looks like wrought iron, and there is a single like blood red stone in the center of it in the front.
Lovely.
That's what it is.
Do you have a picture, Chris? Please do.
No, I made that up. That's in my head. I'm sorry. You'll have to use your imagination.
Just search leather jodhpurs and you'll get a lot. You'll get an eyeful. Anyway, you leave the fitting room and
impossibly tight, like painted on. It's ridiculous.
It's like you're a comic book superhero lady.
Kind of, yeah.
With unrealistic costume standards.
Exactly.
I am not getting the correlation yet, but I'm sure it'll be very good. I mean, it looks really good.
The heels are part of the whole. Oh, yeah, the heels are also crimson. Like the boot is black, but the heel is crimson. It's like a. I'll explain. I promise I will. Yeah, but okay, it fits. See? Yeah. This is pretty scary. All right. That's what I want them to do, is to quake with fear and a little bit of arousal. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go back in and change.
Sure. Fear. Yeah. And yes, you change back.
Right.
Yeah, you do not want to be wearing that in front of the Harbingers.
No. That will be my burial outfit if I show up in that.
Well, you know, the more leather and organic materials it's made out of, the better it'll decompose. It'll be more earth friendly. You pack it up, and the adorable little, they're called crisp wits. And they just kind of.
I'm gonna keep your address. I'll be back. I will be back. Yeah. Oof. Yes.
My people call your people, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
This is my new home.
Do you have a card?
And he heads back inside and presents Harlan, since Harlan asked, Harlan with what looks like a little well, it's hard to tell. There's like a little bit of a tree top on it and like a crystal on the bottom, and he puts it in your hand. And
Thanks.
You see this grotesque little sprout growing out of a crystal. This gnarled face just in your hand.
Well, thank you. You just plant it, and it's you get okay. All right then. This is certainly not the strangest thing that I've planted. I saw that look on you. My sister grows mushrooms on a cow.
I thought you meant the back row of the garden in Rose Upon the River that we didn't let the kids get into.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
I mean, they're not here. We're all grown
Oh,
ups.
that's true. Yeah. I'm so used to them being here. I kind of miss them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Right? Watch Harlan break some hearts.
Yeah, hopefully convince people to break some heads.
So, convincing an army to fight with you involves fear and arousal? I'm really not good at this.
Circumstances. It depends.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to need the fear with Harland. I think it's going to be all the latter.
So he needs to inspire arousal.
I mean, he's got the Henley.
okay.
It doesn't have to do much.
So you head back
Should
to.
he do that thing you like where he takes off one of the straps?
Beza, I'm not telling you things anymore. Second of all,
Sigfin, we're back. We're back and we're ready to leave. Yep.
I'm so lost.
Okay. And Sigfin just sort of shakes out her feathers. Were you satisfied then?
we weren't on the precipice of a world-altering event. I wouldn't want to leave, but yes, this was perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, where to next?
Wherever the cult, that my particular cult of personality might have taken up residence.
Yes, well, you, all strap in. It will get a little chilly up in the north. North?
How far
There's no
north are we
fucking north. We're talking Twilightwood in the mountains. It will only be a bit, but it will get cold very quickly.
Well, all right.
Hopefully they'll let you inside. Couldn't even get your
Don't think we have to worry about that.
Can I just say, I didn't mean to say that one. I caught myself on that one.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw the whole process.
Oh God, what did I say?
Oh no.
Wait.
It escaped. So you all get up onto Sigfin's back or in her claws, and she flies you all towards the mountains, where you see, steadily growing in the distance, till you're right on top of it, a huge castle keep looking temple thing. It's imposing. There are steps all the way from the door to the ground, just like almost like if someone were to go on a pilgrimage up from the valley, they could end up in the mountains. And it's made of a vaguely bluish silver stone. Actually, it kind of looks like how I always describe Electrum. It's got this like slight bluish tint to it. And it is beautiful, this very intricate building with a huge courtyard, large entry hall. And there are people kind of milling about outside. It's a little breezy. No snow or anything. There's a little snow on the ground, but there's no snow in the air. And Sigfin touches down at the end of the courtyard, near the edge of the cliff, and lets you all disembark. Would you like me to remain as a backup in case
I mean,
the expected happens?
It sure wouldn't hurt, but I don't want you to get yourself in any trouble if I don't want you to have to come, clawing at the front doors or anything. If you happen to see us in a courtyard that you can descend safely into, maybe.
I'll keep
sure.
an eye out. How about that?
That'd be much appreciated.
Thank you, Sigfrin.
Of course, dear. Good luck, Holland.
Yeah,
and the rest
thanks.
of you, I suppose, but mostly Holland. And she flies up, and you see her perch up on one of the parapets of the of this keep. And yeah, so you're hanging out on this this cold. There's a couple of what look almost like evergreen trees, but they're not quite pine tree shaped. Sort of planted around. It's got a very Solitude in Skyrim vibe. Mountain, castle, Hogwarts kind of big thing. And a couple
Blue
of...
Palace?
What was that?
Is that the Blue Palace? I'm thinking. Is that right?
A little bit, yeah. And you see all of these people in blue robes, or armor, or everyone in a slightly bluish vibe. And you start. What do you do when you see these people?
So, so, hey, Elliot, do you mind if you do something a little bit? I kind of want to, you know, have a big entrance. You know.
Okay.
So, can you use those like dancing lights and follow me around? Because
I can.
All right. I'm just gonna do something. It might catch their attention. Let them know that who it is that is approaching on this.
I can't wait for this.
Do you need hold on. I might have read something about this. Let me roll on my story die really quick and see if that's gonna give us anything good.
Yeah.
I need
it.
a D12. Yeah. Oh, that was cocked. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna come in handy or not. I will hold on to that. Yes, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. You just want it to be like what? Like a halo? Are we going for just like spotlights? Are we thinking more like contour lighting? What do you need?
And like spotlights, like yeah, they just will shine on me.
Okay.
I promise
I
the
can do
setup
that.
will be worth it.
I can do that. Okay.
Everyone who is currently watching.
Okay, great. Then
All
I will
right.
just maintain. I'm gonna do like 2, on either side, spotlight style, and then I'm gonna have 2 on the bottom. And I would love. I realize the spell doesn't say this, but I would just love it if they could do like that Hollywood lights effect, where they're like on the ground, doing the like the circles that you can see. I would love something like that, even if they're small. We just want to like really zhuzh it up. Of course, like a sparkling golden, beautiful color.
Totally fine.
Amazing.
So yeah, do you say anything in particular, Harlan?
Yeah, so what he will do is he'll begin to mold earth to make it raise under his feet, giving him a little bit of a dais.
Okay. We're still outside.
Yep. Meanwhile, casting Minor Illusion so that the following begins to happen.
Okay.
I have posted it in the chat.
Okay.
You too bad?
Okay. Screaming cowboy. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Oh my god.
Hold on.
Is it all images of Harlan?
Hold on.
It is all images of Harlan.
Hold on.
Amazing.
I fucking love you.
I don't know what I expected. Someone please clip this moment.
Be okay again, ever.
I'm very.
Oh my
It's
God.
days like these where I'm really glad I figured out how to get Chrome to transmit audio. That's one of those where I'm not worried about getting a copyright strike on that particular thing. And as this pulsing music is happening, people start glancing and then start like whispering to each other and kind of like gathering a little bit around you, Harlan. Like this is a motley group of people. You see a number of very fantasy, like I said, little Alice in Wonderlandy looking knights with armor and huge plumes of feathers and patterns and like almost jester-like. You see, there's a few of these like very gallant, seeming to have taken a cue from Harlan's like heroic bard sort of reputation, whether or not that was inflated a bit. Very musketeers-like. But you also see a collection of like small folk. You see a gnome riding around, probably a gnome riding around on like a gigantic rabbit as a mount. That kind of like skids to a halt and like starts heading towards and just like this bizarre collection of random people. And this is more than just groupies, Harlan. This is like a whole little society that has grown up in this church. And there's just murmuring, and a few people are like looking up at you with this like can't believe sort of like awe in their face. And you start hearing murmurs, and Oliette, you in particular, probably. Oh no, Paru, you got the best passive. You start hearing them whisper like, "That's the maestro. The maestro is going back. That's the maestro."
Maestro.
And
I don't know either. Just go with it.
and one of the knights. You have returned.
Harlan Firebranch at your service.
Firebranch! And you hear like all of this murmuring happening.
I feel like Paru and Beza are trying so hard to keep straight faces.
So is Chris.
Arno was looking at Verlaine like, this was not what I was expecting.
He's trying really hard to like, he's just biting a knuckle. Like trying real hard to. Whew. And the knight talking to you, Harlan, says, "We had thought that time and memoriam would pass before you returned to us, Maestro."
Yeah, Maestro. Yes, I have returned to you, anon.
Firebranch, Firebranch.
And verily, I speak to y'all.
Speak to
You want to help me overthrow, bitch?
Firebranch,
Wow.
bring liberation to the enslaved, you overthrow tyranny, heroism, and such. Just all sorts of shouting happening. And the knight,
I'm with you, but I have no
and
fun.
the knight says, my lord Firebranch, I am Sir Havisham. I am your humble acolyte and servant. We, the Harbingers, have kept we have held as long as we could against the forces of misdeeds and tomfoolery.
Oh shoot! You shouldn't have held back against tomfoolery. That's one of my trademark skills.
There's like a quiet pause over everyone. Well, we'll discuss dogma in the future. Right at the moment, you have come to us requiring aid, not in our time of need, but in your own. Oh, he is truly generous.
Well, I mean, if y'all need help with something, I can help out. Can we help out?
Oh, just the casual, the territory disputes and those mean bitches in the termite mound.
Yeah, we're gonna go sort them out next. That's not the power that I would like your assistance with.
Their queen told me I should gargle salt water and then just inhale.
Well, the first part's good for a sore throat. The second part, I can't recommend.
Verlaine's like, yes, second. I regret none of this. To quit.
And she broke.
What can we do for you, my liege, my lord, our savior?
Well, I'm here. We'll let you know. We just need to know
Prepare
y'all.
for battle.
Yeah, prepare for battle. Whatever. With your weapons and knives and pitchforks and torches and such.
We have many of those. Go to the pitchfork shed.
If y'all have an effigy, that would be a great visual.
We have effigy. Well, effigy, she's over there, and you see this tiefling like, "Hello, my lord."
Your name's Effigy?
I have a twin, and my parents are kind of cruel.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. God.
I'm sorry. The Harbingers have turned into a Monty Python sketch, and I have no control over it. We will be prepared. Rest assured, rest assured, your greatness. We shall absolutely be prepared to fight at your side, shall we not? Fire branch!
Oh, excellent.
Capitalism is inherently evil!
Y'all, let me introduce you to something called ranked choice voting.
Eat the witch! Eat the witch! So, you see coming up amongst the group, you see this really, intense-looking little goblin creature with little beady eyes and spaced-out sharp teeth, with a top hat where some four-leaf clovers are growing out of the top of it. And he kind of sneaks up next to the knight and says, Lord Firebranch.
Yep, that sure is me.
The bitch you speak of, well, not your words. I try to be a bit more respectful of the Pharaoh sex, but I'm just what are we to do And who is this we shall be overthrowing in your name?
Well, should I tell him?
Easy
Should I-
on the
is that-
details.
is that-
Easy on the
I
details.
have
Alright.
many tools at our disposal which can turn the tide of battle.
And the goblin opens his trench coat that he's wearing,
Oh.
and you see
God.
rabbit feet and horseshoes lining it.
Oh my god.
And if they
Polex
don't
is
work,
under
you
there.
can throw them.
Can confirm you can throw horseshoes.
Oh my god.
Well, she's a bit far away at this point. She's in another realm.
Another castle.
Yep, she's probably in another castle. Oh yeah, she in a castle. All right, yeah. Let's say she's in another castle. Well, if we do we just want to have our armies like meet up at a certain place, or is that
Well,
just gonna
okay, so I didn't realize that the hive was making this big of an impression. Maybe we shouldn't have them meet up ahead of time for fear that there might be too much infighting. So perhaps we should just tell them to be ready in a couple of days, 2 to 3 days, and we'll come fetch them when the time is right.
Yeah, just make sure y'all are ready, and we'll be back in about 2 or 3 days, and just be ready for a tussle, a biggin.
Very, very well, my lord. We will, we will be... Oh, first, we will just speak to the prophet to make sure everything's all set. If you would like to meet her, and we will be all prepared to fight for you.
The prophet.
Presently, yes. Certainly she
like-
knew of your coming.
Like what a like a person prophet, not like the thing that is inherently evil that I don't want to talk. 'Cause someone in the back said something about like capital letters. or
Occupy
something.
Feywild!
Yeah, let's go meet this prophet. Sure. Nothing else could go.
Very good,
Slightly.
very good. We are make way. The Lord will be seeing the prophet now, as it has been foretold. Foretold. It's been foretold. Fucking fire branch. Yeah.
I have in my inventory.
I mean, this is are we at best case scenario so far, or like?
I think so. Oh, should we walk on either side of him like bodyguards so he doesn't get mobbed?
Maybe we need to put
Yeah.
palm fronds at his feet.
I think I'm
Just
gonna get,
reaching for
like,
a pine tree. I'm not putting my coat in a puddle for him.
Maybe Paru could druid craft some flower petals?
Oh my god.
All right. Begins to like flower petal as he walks. Actually, no. As he steps,
Mhm.
flowers are just going to spring forth. from each of
Amazing. Yep.
D&D
Filet.
Beyond, I have to say I'm disappointed. All of my notes for everything that I had in my backpack is now gone. So I don't know what happened to it, but
Well, you know what you
Thanks.
should do, Harland? You should store that on your notebook in World Anvil.
yeah, you're right. I should,
Mm-hmm.
and I will start doing so.
Yeah, they let you do tabs and stuff.
Neat.
Pretty
Okay,
neat.
let's go meet this prophet.
Villain sees what Paru's doing with the flowers, and he just kind of sighs, and fine. And you watch as he, like, casts with his organic arm, his shield coming out, but you don't really see much of it, you just see the rainbow. And so you all head inside with this throng of acolytes of Harland. Harland, any sort of songs that they've sung about you, like even the more ribald ones, there's just a crowd of them.
There's one there's one that previously he had encouraged them to not sing about, and it it was something that like got rather limericky about the fire branch. And it's like didn't want to connote fire with that.
Yeah.
So he had previously encouraged that not be used, but it's probably being iterated upon.
It might be something a bit more like the eternal flame of hope kind of vibe, but you can tell that the skeleton of that original like naughty song is definitely in there.
It's like a Brit going, it's like, isn't that a drinking song?
Yeah, pretty much. So they're leading you all in. A couple of people are like grabbing the rest of you like by the hand, or going, "What is it like following in the footsteps of a god?" Or like, "Is he really like?"
Not a god.
Not a god. That kind of thing. They're just like, "Oh, it must be absolutely miraculous being in his glorious deific wake."
We've definitely seen some amazing things happen.
I like your shoes.
My sewer as we walk, trying to like hit harmonies with all the songs that are going on.
There's
But
too
if somebody
many
gets
of
too
them.
close to my face, I'm gonna just like
Oh my god.
I like that hair.
reach.
Incredible.
Are those wood buttons?
So
That was a good look on you.
let me see if I can find. Yeah, I was gonna
Is
say.
that a snakeskin belt?
I literally can't think of the saltwater line. I'll die.
You're trying to remember it?
No, I remember it. I'm
Oh,
just saying.
you're still
Trying to stay
recovering.
focused, but
Okay. It's a good glimpse into misery. You are led into this beautiful, ornate room, or the like castle sort of courtyard space, and as you are led inside, there's more of these acolytes. They're hearing, like, someone ran inside and started shouting to people what was going on, and that, you know, Firebranch has returned. The Harlbinger of our salvation, all that jazz. And you're brought in. A couple of followers put this wreath of like sort of like pine on your head that has like little berries on it and stuff. It's probably like a good berry tree or something that they like put in there. There's white flowers sort of dangling around. They kind of look like maybe like snowdrops or like little like bluebell kind of things are all like dangling around. And somebody throws a very heavy like mantle capey thing on your shoulders. It's very Cowardly Lion and Wizard of Oz. It's a rug. No. But so, and as you're brought forth, you see in what would have been the cathedral space, like the chapel space of this sort of church-looking building, you're brought in on this sort of wave of people. It feels a bit like a crush of people as they all move, and you're just moving along with them. And you see on where would be like a dais, like where would be the throne, you see a figure in a long robe, in that blue, though there is a streak of red up the hood and across the shoulders of this robe. You gather maybe the fire branch aspect of the iconography of this place. And she's sitting on a sort of what would be an altar sort of space, but she's just kind of like sitting on it with her knee up, and she's barefoot, and you can't really see her face, and she has a staff, almost like a shepherd's crook sort of vibe, and and people are rushing towards her, going, "Prophet, prophet! Firebranch has returned! Firebranch has returned!" And she glances up, and Harland, I don't know if you remember.
That would have been on the notes that are now.
You can search Harlot in our chat, and you'll find her picture. You see, peeking out from under the hood, grayish blue skin and a shock of orange hair and some gold eyes. Solara, who was the president of the Harlots when you left.
I searched for the word harlot and it says no results.
Spelled UT.
Siluti, like Harland. You'll find
Yes.
Mal, the secretary, the cat person.
Yes. Well,
And she looks up and kind of crooks her head at you. Oh, my goodness gracious, Harland. I mean, my lord, of course. And everyone's like, "Our lord!" And
well, Sil, fancy meeting you here. All right. Yeah. So the prophet, huh? That's a bit of a step up the ranks.
she hops down, her feet kind of very gently, sort of tapping against the floor. And she walks up to you and kind of looks up at you, and everyone's like deathly still, waiting. How have you been?
I mean, I've been real good actually. Just the other day, I was just hearing about this whole group, and I was just thinking, wouldn't it be funny if one of them was still one of the original group? And then
You like what
here
I
you
did
are.
with the place?
Oh, it's I didn't even know this place existed. So yeah, well, you've done something with it, that's for sure.
Upgraded, that's what happens when enough people here tell of the great Harlan Firebranch. Oh, excuse me one moment. I, your prophet, have confirmed that this is your lord returned. And it's like, bah! Everyone makes a ton of noise. It like erupts in applause and excitement. And Solara lifts your hand and like a champion boxer sort of pose. And she does that, and everyone's like, "Yeah, Firebranch, Firebranch." And she lets your hand down, she slips her arm into yours and starts walking towards the altar. "So what's this I hear about you needing an army?"
Well, I got these two, and the rest of them got two of them as well. But it should be nice if we all had an extra
Oh,
one.
Harlan, you're too much. You've always been too much.
Too much. That's that is my middle name, one of my middle names.
I love your shirt.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a recent gift from.
She like kind of flicks a button.
Yeah, that was a gift.
How many knuckles
very
is Oliette cracking right now? She taking out her
Feel
earrings yet,
blood
or
in
like what
my
is she
mouth.
doing right now?
Biting my tongue so hard.
Oh, I thought she just tasted blood because of the adrenaline rushing through her body right now.
No, my
taste
vision is
iron.
starting to like get swaying. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just standing there completely calm. This is good practice.
Harlan, she leads you over to the altar and hops up on it to sit, and she's at eye level with you now because you're a little taller than her. Crosses her legs. How, so seriously though.
Seriously, what?
What can the Harlbingers do for their...
Oh yeah, no. There's a growing evil power that needs to be dealt with. And it's not y'all, so that'd be silly having you deal with yourselves. But yeah, there's injustice right now that must be corrected, and in order to do so, we need some the backing of some physical backup.
You need a force, is what you need.
Yeah, several. Yeah.
You've been gone so long and you just jump right to war. I would have thought you'd at least need a drink first.
Well, we did.
God, Chris, you're making it so much easier for me to keep doing this.
We got the drinks with the lady of the folk. That was the first stop.
Oh, wonderful. So you're refreshed then?
Yes, I have been refreshed. I've had refreshments.
So, actually, hold on. Light the banners. Let the others across the land know that the Harbinger is back.
This isn't all y'all.
Oh no, we have franchises. She gives a little smirk.
Oh goodness.
Oh
Well,
that might not be the
okay.
word for it.
I mean, it's
Anyway,
splinter cells. I don't know.
if I may borrow your mind again for a moment, my lord.
Yeah.
I think we'll be able to accommodate.
Yeah. I can't imagine that there's something that you'd be just willing to do all this because y'all worship me. So, what do y'all need help with? How can we help y'all?
We need our territory back.
And who has claimed your territory?
The Hive. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Yep. I heard a couple of things. Yep, I wanted to.
They're encroaching on our diocese.
That's like what you gamble with, right?
Means church land.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you just say that and have a fancy word for it?
I'm a prophet. I have to use at least 3-syllable words.
Next thing you know, you're gonna have like bluebirds, in charge of all the church lands.
Well, I mean, we do have the morning bluebird released.
Right.
In your honor. Everything's in your honor.
Yeah. How did this get started? This is like, it's a bit much.
Well, you wanted us to get along, Harlan. And Mishka and I figured if you can't beat him, join him. Mishka, you remember, is the president of the Harlequins. Little gnomish lady with a mount and a little dragon mount and suit of armor.
How is dear old Mishka, by the way?
She's the Pope.
Oh, well, all right. So you have a prophet and a pope, and this is just getting bigger and bigger and more sacrilegious.
I did just realize that particular. It's fine.
I made a cardinal joke, so it's fine.
No, Mishka is the general of the Prophet's army.
Of the prophet's army. All right. Well, then I'm glad we came to the right person first. That's great.
She would have loved to see you, though. I'm sure you should definitely stop by.
Yes. Just point me in that direction, and we shall certainly do that.
On the outskirts of the Hive's territory, you'll find Mishka.
Which outskirts? I understand that they are springing up in more than one place.
She points out the window, and you can see from where you are that down in the valley there is some smaller sort of termite mounds growing, and some of the trees have started dying, and there's a little bit of a desert kind of growing in one section.
All right. Well, we can swing by there, I suppose. Well, thanks for your assistance. I do appreciate it.
As
Thanks.
always, Harland, my absolute pleasure.
Yeah. Have you met the gang? Have you met the rest of
I
the
don't
rest of the group?
think I have. Not in person. The champions of the Queens of Fable
Right.
are, well, legendary.
Yeah. Well, that's Beza, and that's Paro, and that's Verlaine, and well, that's all I get.
Oliette! My goodness, we finally meet. Harlan's told us so much about you. All
I
good
have?
things. I think you mentioned her to them before. Did you? Did you not? Did I
It was
miss that?
don't
before.
remember.
It was before we were. I think it was before. No, it was right at the beginning.
Right at the
of when
beginning.
yeah. Okay.
You asked them to
Um,
disband. You were going to ask them to disband because of Oliette.
Right. Yes.
Doubt.
Oh, fuck.
And you didn't.
This one's yeah.
And then you recruited them as spies. The last orders, and she gets a little smirk. The last orders you gave us were to keep an eye on things, be mindful of such things. The spycraft that was developed because of your request was the reason that this whole endeavor could happen. We have eyes and ears everywhere. If that's
Right.
helpful for you.
Yes. That will be helpful. Very much so. When we are preparing to do the whole, coup thing.
We will
So-
need a bit more information. Who are we cooing?
Well, that will be announced at a time once we have finished gathering the potential forces that we might have at our disposal.
Harland. I'm sorry, my lord.
Am I picking up any amount of like disingenuousness from her? Like,
Only the my lord. You're getting a sense that, I mean, she always had a bit of a, not an attitude, but, attitude, yes, but not towards you. She always had this behavior like she assumed if you were going to hook up with one of the groupies, it was going to be her. She always had that sort of like, I'm the only one you'd actually be serious. Like, okay, whatever. But like, so you get the sense like she's had, well, I'll have her talk about it. Harland, and don't get me wrong, it was always such an absolute delight seeing you as often as we did, and having fun nights at the tavern and all that. But I've been in charge of an entire religion for the better part of, well, let's say, exponentially longer than I knew you in person. Can't we talk as peers at this point?
Yes, but not here. And again, we will have to make sure that our final arrangements with our other potential allies have been cemented. At least the interest has been garnered. I promise that I will be more forthcoming. I would not be.
think we're just
comfortable
waiting
doing it
for
right.
the second one.
The second one.
That was a church joke, Harlan. Come on. And she pats you on the cheek. I'm just teasing you. It's fine.
Yep. Yes. So, thank you for your the retinue that I have been greeted with. I mean, continue to do the good work that y'all are doing. Seeing as how y'all have an army.
We do what is best in the interest of everybody, according to the sacred word of the maestro. I didn't come up with that.
The maestro is not that. So you didn't come up with that? What was that?
That wasn't me. That
Oh,
was
right.
that was Mal. They were little fanciful when they were coming up with the language.
What's Cody up to?
Oh, well, Cody is part of our recruitment.
Yep. Always was good at getting somebody into trouble.
Also, the blue is like a theme, so you know right away when you see him.
Right. So I just assume that if it's blue, it's part of our a part of our crew. Then.
We ostensibly have a trademark on the color at this point.
Ah.
By the way, Oliat, we'll have to talk.
Great.
Got
Can't
it.
wait.
So, we'll talk when you're prepared.
Yep. This has gone about as well as I expected it to go. Thank you very much again for your reception, and as always, lovely seeing you. Here's looking at you, kid.
I think I'm older than you now.
I mean that, yeah.
Not that that's a
yeah,
problem.
No.
May, December, and all that.
All right. Okay. Yeah. This is I'm just getting seated with all this new information that is that has been presented to me on this afternoon.
Are you
Good.
leaving?
Well, we got, I think, one more stop in the 5 minutes we have left before 10 p.m. Pacific. Which I don't know if we want to. Potentially, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We might have one more stop to make. But thank you. Oh, there is something. Hey. No, I don't think Harlan would think of that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Of course, my lord. Your savior is leaving for the moment. You hear a bit of a like, oh god, like people are just freaking out. For the moment. He has obviously very important concerns to contend with, and we shall be at his back when he returns, seeking our aid and strength.
Y'all looking real good.
Thank you.
I love the lot of y'all's passion. It's humbling to see.
Humble Harland! That's apparently a thing too.
All right. Cool. I guess. Yeah, y'all. I guess we're good to scupper off. This has been. And Jimmy Barnes starts playing again as he starts walking out.
And there's just sorry. So yeah, they just start singing Sweet Caroline, but it's just Harlan. They escort you out in another throng of people that just keep moving, and they all are asking questions and like, Harlan, can you bless my bow? Or Harlan, if I say 5 hail Harlans, will I? Anyway, there's just a bunch.
So, yeah, he'll be like doling out like
folksy advice.
Yeah, and yeah, it's like just the random tidbit and like bless a bow. He'll like.
We're talking
like,
a violin bow, not an archery bow.
All right, yeah. Bless the.
Because somehow people got into his head that he's a bard, even though he's only recently become one. They like the folksy like tavern thing like morphed. You know how mythologies work. Even though there's somebody who's a first-person account, she didn't really stop any of that from happening.
Well, I mean, I could argue the fact that like because Babadishe knew that Harlan was doing that her Lady of the Folk would know, and
that might have
by extension.
Sure. I can see that. Oh, God damn it, Bex and Heather in the chat right now, just rocking it right now. All right. So you all leave with an army. How's Oliette doing? Actually, you know what? Valine's like, how you doing, Sunshine?
So good.
On a scale of 1 to homicide, how are you doing?
I'm good. I've turned over a new leaf.
Manslaughter, then?
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
You ready to crush some souls?
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. He kind of like elbows you a little bit, like, we'll figure something out. And so you all head over to where Siegfried picked you up, or dropped you off, and you see this giant raven careen down, almost knock people over as she just like skids just a little bit close to where everybody is, and plops down. Well, I don't see a religious riot happening, so are we departing?
Yes, please, with post haste. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I did not. When they said occult, it definitely is. That was time.
You did well.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't let the whole godhood thing go to your head.
Well, she seemed to let it go to hers, though.
To be fair, she was always kind of like that, and it's grown proportionate to the size of the flock that she's leading.
Well, Mishka's not that bad, right?
Oh no, Mishka's much more of a. She's energetic and earnest, very very sincere person.
Doesn't seem like someone very interested in, dictating. Despite being a general, apparently.
Isn't she the one that you said was always really good at organizing all the events?
Yes, that was her. She's
so many
she's
bake
got
sales.
that
Fuck, those brownies were good.
administrative mindset. She's real good at that. So I guess being a general, is telling people where to go and what to do. It's that's right up her alley.
As opposed to what to believe.
Right.
Sigfin's like, I can leave now if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And a bunch of the harbingers sort of back away, and they're all sort of like cheering and like waving goodbye to you, and just like, goodbye, God.
You know what? Y'all are my favorite.
You all heard that? that god said I was chosen! And there's a little fight that starts breaking out.
Just to give Solara something to work on.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So Sigfinn heads away from the mountains and sailing through the valley of the Queensdom, and it takes a little while for you to get all the way across. You're going opposite end of the kingdom, basically the Queensdom, essentially. What were you gonna say? I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Just kidding. I sure am muted. Are we heading to the hive right now?
Do you want to, or do you have another?
No, we can. I would just change before we take off.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, we could stop, like basically you could just be like, hey, Sigfrid,
Like
can we stop early? Like, yeah, can I need to get out and change. So Sigfrid stops and maybe at a ridge or something, and you can duck into a cave or something, I don't know. And you change. Valine refuses to look at you. And Sigfrid, like, you didn't know, like, a raven had an eyebrow. It was just like, they did good.
Right?
And you all get up on the, on Sigfrid again, and she leaps off, or she just kind of steps off the ledge and wings out, starts coasting towards the barren lands, right on the edge of which you see this massive organic series of towers, these termite mounds. And as you get a little closer, you start seeing that there are, like, flying around. You see there's figures flying around, reflecting a little bit of sunlight. Like, occasionally you get a little blinded as you're heading, we're gonna say this is dayward, because dry, deserty kind of vibe. And your eyes catch the light off of some of these creatures that are flying around, and you have to sort of wince at it. And occasionally, when you get closer, you see that there's color. That these are winged creatures or people with bright, fluorescent, iridescent wings. And Sigfrid flies a bit closer, and you see that some of these people are, in fact, like butterfly-like. Beautiful, sort of iridescent, big, angular wings. Content warning that there's going to be a few bugs referenced, but they're people, not like creepy bugs. And they're flying around, and Sigfrid sort of like avoids them a little bit, but then occasionally just like there's too many of them, and she just flies through them. And she says, I'm not entirely sure where one would go for an audience, so should I just drop you off on the outskirts or right in the middle?
Yes, I suppose. But let's see if we can at least find an area that, if you can spot from up here, looks like there might be several windows or openings so that we can make an entrance.
Sure. And she tries to find a spot that fits what you're looking for. And occasionally you catch a glimpse of, like, someone sort of peeking out from the termite mounds. There's these little, like, holes that look like they act like windows. And you see, like, flashes of white faces. Featureless, emotionless faces with a little bit of paint on them. You think they might be masks? And Sigfinn gets you close. one more time. My brain just completely lost everything.
To be like in front of a building necessarily, but my purpose here is that I need them to see us coming.
Oh yeah, she's definitely. You've already been seen. Siegfried's a huge blackbird. So yeah, she finds the closest approximation to an entryway that she can find that have some guards up. More of these sort of iridescent insectoid-looking creatures. And Siegfried hits the ground, makes sure to brush her wings to push a bunch of dust into like this cloud, make a ton of noise, and what'd you say?
Friend, you're a gem.
I thought it would help.
Thank you.
And she sort of does this low bow, puts her wing out a little bit so you can like nudge onto her elbow to get down, make a bit of a thing of it. And there's this tension around as you hear clicking and some just some like murmuring about with some of these iridescent butterfly people, and you see another. You saw the messenger that came in, the one that Paru decided to like match wits with before by just touching the throne. You see creatures like that, sort of beetle with the little pinchers and stuff. But almost everyone is some element of an iridescent green or an iridescent blue, catches the sun. It's like rainbow colors. Everything very dramatic, very saturated, but not in the way that, not the Lisa Frank thing, but like bold, natural colors. As you disembark from the back of Siegfried, you are approached by one of these, a person. You see a moth-looking creature, slightly butterfly, with a round. She's gone. With a round mask. It's for the best. With a round golden mask and a glass of wine in their hand, and they sort of trot up towards you with this very sort of lax attitude, and a staff that has this lantern on the edge of it, and says, "What business do you have with your bird?"
Kind of like do that power stance, like one hip cocked, and I just look at them for a painfully long moment.
You just watch as like 3 fingers kind of like turn the staff. Waiting.
I am here to see Misery.
Her Majesty.
Or
Her gloriosity. And for what
now,
reason?
please.
What reason do you have to speak to our Lady of Misery?
Well, if all things go well, perhaps I'll put her out of it. Tell her I am here. She'll know who I am.
You see a number of the creatures, the beetle creatures, get a little, like, their wings sort of pop out a bit. Some of them, their horns are kind of ticking a little bit. You literally just threatened their queen. And there's some spears that are out.
Yes, I'm aware of the song and dance that she requires of you. I taught it to her.
Nods to a little scampering beetle. And he just runs off.
gonna look at my perfect, like, matte black manicure and look as bored as fucking possible.
You both look at each other super bored. Though he does have a mask on. And he just sips from his champagne and... You, points to Oliet. I would understand being here. What do the rest of you want? Are they your entourage?
Ugly word. How common. It's none of your concern.
Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
You're like, fuck you, okay, I'll do it.
Okay. It's not good enough. I'm gonna use a reroll.
Okay. I mean, Alora gave you a reroll for the night.
Dirty 20. 15
Hell
plus 5.
yeah.
Much better.
It gets a little bit ruffled. Doesn't have anything real smarmy to say, though. Eventually, digging out of the ground, you see the beetle again. And, leans down with his staff. Whispers into the steward's ear. Stands to full height, good foot taller than you. Lanky thing, very spindly, except for the fluff of little, like, sort of natural feather boa on his neck. Gestures for you to follow him. It's a sour look on his face. Though it has a mask, you can still get the vibe. The whole vibe is sour.
Can feel it.
Yeah.
I guess cast a look back at my friends. Are we didn't discuss if y'all were coming in with me or not. I don't remember.
We're coming in,
Okay.
Sunshine.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, we would have discussed that, I'm assuming.
Right, yeah. We're not having this conversation right now.
No, it's like, we're
There's
coming
no way
with
in
you.
there's
Fuck
no
that.
way in hell we're letting you go in by yourself.
All right, cool. Great. It's fine.
So, you head inside, and unlike the tunnels underground where the circle of spores resides, you find these super dry, almost red clay looking material. And then eventually it turns into this like slate gray color as you get a little closer inside, and you find yourself in a loud, both buzzing but also just chattering people. It's not just bugs. You see tall, lanky elven figures. You see some satyrs. You see some so like bird-like creatures, some bear folk. There's like a bunch of people in here. And it's very much like a being at court vibe, mixed with like, I don't know, a mixer. There's a lot of alcohol being poured. There's fountains of it. People in this space are incredibly ostentatious. They're full of, if they're not one of the chitin, if they're not one of the bug folk, they are wearing or painted in so much color. And a lot of them have this almost like Harlequin-esque vibe to them. There's a figure with a painted smile on their face, and all of this black and white going on, but then behind them is a cape that underneath is just this shimmering golden sunlight sort of thing. It follows and casts light underneath it as they walk by, and they make a point to fucking swish that bitch the whole walk. Like, they're just, they're making a point of it. you you see a almost like feline creature with bright dark blue skin, with what almost look like stalks of wheat kind of cropping up, but they might just be like feathers or antennae or something, kind of coming up in there's maybe 5 or 6 of them kind of coming up on their head, and they're wearing this gorgeous gold and royal blue and red long coat with tails. They also have a tail, but and the crowd just kind of starts paying attention to the group of you, because as the steward comes in, there's light reflecting off of their staff, and just kind of leading the way. Several of the butterfly or moth creatures are kind of watching the light.
Beza makes sure to flank Oliette on one of her sides.
Sure.
And does her best to copy Oliette's bitch come at me energy.
Okay. What's Harlan doing as they walk and basically there's a processional inside?
I think he knows that this is not his scene. So he probably in conversation with Oliette at some point remembers to do what she called the eyebrow, and he's just wearing it. He's just wearing the eyebrow as he walks around. Just
okay, very good. Give me an intimidation check.
Intimidation? Oh no. Oh wait, I'm partially training it because I'm a bard.
Hey,
Good.
Multi-classing.
That is a total of 17.
17. Yeah, you definitely like intimidate a few people. God, I'm really excited about this music. And yeah, you definitely make the eyebrow, and there's a few people there was a couple people that were watching you sort of giggling, murmuring, sort of gossiping, and then you make the eyebrow at them and they're like, fuck. And they sort of readjust. And Beza, you're doing fine. I mean, you're small, but if you at any point bust out the sword, if you just go bust it out, bust it back in, you're fucking around with a switchblade or something, that would definitely shut a few people up.
Yeah, I think she sees a couple people tittering in the background, they're enjoying the scene, and she makes a point of casually just flipping a blade out as she's moving her arm around like she's stretching, and then flips it back in.
Harland, where are you? Are you on Oliette's other side, or are you hanging back, or what are you up to? Where are you in the group?
I think we didn't establish marching order before coming into the enemy stronghold.
That's true. It's just Beza said she was sidling up to Oliette, or flanking on one side. I was curious if Harlan was taking the other.
I think he would, because he's kind of dressed down, which would make Oliette seem that much more impressive.
That's true. Well, and Beza's white and metallic.
Oh, it just makes her. It just makes her pop. All black. Yeah, it just makes Oliette pop. You are led forward, and you see people parting out of the way, and then you arrive at what looks like a throne, made of this material that the termite mound is made of, but it's super twisted and carved. It kind of vaguely reminds you of a tree. Kind of looks like Her Majesty of the Vine's throne a little bit, but it is empty. And the steward leads you towards the chair and just stops next to it, just looks a little smug as he waits. There's like murmuring and, like I said, there's more gossiping. There's a couple of giggles and stuff as people are looking at the people around Oliette. Maybe not Oliette herself, but the people around her.
Do I see, as we're making our way in here, do I see like Mara or Abiella? Are they still around? Or
you don't see them offhand, but there's a lot of people in here.
How much is a lot?
There's, I mean, this is a big room. This is like a big domed space. There's probably about like 50 people here, maybe 60. Cool.
Okay, yeah, I am just kind of standing there, like lazily scanning the room and just giving the occasional deep sigh and eye roll.
And you wait. And a couple minutes pass. And the steward just looks very pleased. Just wait. Eventually, you hear clacking coming from down a hallway, and you see a satyr with pale, almost lilac, lavender skin, big twisted black horns coming up from the top of her head. Her tail whipping back and forth is almost, it's like ridged and spiky the whole way down. She's got kind of a tiefling vibe to her, but she's certainly fae. And tattooed on either side of her face are these little, like, lightning Lichtenberg sort of... Lichtenberg or Liechtenstein? I don't remember which way that is. Lichtenberg. Just, like, a little bit of lightning on the inside of her cheeks, or on the edges of her cheeks. And she is wearing... she's wearing a leather, like basically a leather jacket with a high collar, and one of the sleeves are ripped off, and she looks like she's wearing a fucking like gladiator skirt, like armor, and long plunging neckline, and just like spiked bracelets and like gloves that only go up to here, like yeah, she's a whole time. And we'll say you vaguely remember Misery. She was just sort of like, in your estimation, she was probably like 3rd tier at the time when you left. And she steps over to the throne. She's just wiping something from her eyeliner, and she says, "I'm sorry I'm late. I didn't want to be here." And she just sits on the chair and... Holy shit, Oliette. Oh my god, how are you?
So good.
Well, you look great. You have to tell me who does your work. You look great for your age.
God. Noticing. I'm gonna very casually pull out this, I don't know why I still have this, but I'm gonna fucking use it now. I have this lollipop that has a spider in it.
Oh my god.
And I'm going to very unceremoniously like unwrap it and toss the wrapper on the floor, and then just very lazily put it in my mouth.
It has been... Oh god, how old are you again?
It's impolite for me to say. Besides, I don't think you could count that high.
Oh. It's really been
I love
way too long, Oliette.
You've done with this place. It's very quaint. I love this.
Oh, this old thing? This is just phase 1.
Oh, there's going to be phases. Fascinating.
Empires aren't built in a day.
That's what they say. So, I mean, what point, I suppose I should ask, to be polite, at what point does this all crumble and you go back to the hole that you crawled out of?
Oh, not planning on crumbling, dear. We've amassed quite a bit of property, and I don't think we're planning on taking a break anytime soon.
Be impressed, but I've heard that you've only made the hunters cry a handful of times. I taught you better than that.
Oh, the toddlers with the bows and arrows.
Mm.
Oh, well, they're just in the way sometimes.
Listen, this is cute, but if I'm being honest, I do hate seeing my legacy look so weak. Actually, something here isn't right. Do you remember Leekashell?
Oh, yeah, totally.
She's still around?
Yeah, the hag's around somewhere.
Oh.
Never really recovered.
I do have that effect on people.
Props
You
to you for
know,
that.
It was a tragedy the way she up and abandoned everyone, tail between her legs, more metaphorically speaking. You know, there's something to be said about getting out while you're ahead, and I think that Leekashell is a beautiful example of this. Although, I mean, to your credit, you've done a lot more than she has. And as I tell this story about a runaway, I will pop the lollipop out of my mouth and switch places with her. And now I'm sitting on the throne with my legs crossed, and she's standing in front of me.
Oh my god, fucking fuck. Amazing.
Nice.
So, you switch places with Misery, and there's only a moment. Actually, you know what? Let's find out. And just because I'm fair. Okay. You see a little bit of a flicker of trying to get a handle on what you just did, like getting her bearings. And after a moment, she recovers a bit and realizes, oh, it's absolutely adorable how you think you're still relevant, hon.
About
Hi,
a
who
classic.
are you? And she walks over to Harland. What's your name, handsome?
Well, that's one of the names I go by.
Oh, you're cute. In that kind of, one time and don't call later kind of way.
I'm sorry, you got... There's a little... Like, right there? Right there on the corner. You might have... I think you might have smudged your eyeliner when you were wiping earlier. It's kind of...
She prestidigitates, and even if there was anything on it, it's clean now. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
He's so polite, Oliette. Is this one yours?
Mine, Misery, and that's what we're here to talk about.
How long have you been tagging along with her? Ask you, Harland.
I mean, oh, gosh. I mean, pretty much... It's been a bit. Yeah, it's been a bit.
Well, that makes sense, her being an antique and all.
I didn't say it was that much of a bit.
I'm so proud of him. She gets this. She catches that, and man, she gets this feline grin on her face at you, Harlan. She kind of adjusts one of. She has the same move that that the other chick had. The kind of adjusting the buttons. They're there, you know. You want to. Well, I mean, if you're all out and about, I assume you're one of the champions, aren't you? If you're hanging around with her. Out and about in realms unknown.
Yeah, we don't really want to stay long in this one, though.
That's weird. I would have assumed that pickings would be a little better here than wherever you were. If you insisted on hanging out with Oliette, I mean, well, I guess every farmer needs a hoe. And she walks away from him.
I mean, I guess pickings is one way to describe what's here.
You're cute.
You're not.
Sorry. That was funny. I was amused. You got me. You got me on that one. I'm sorry, hon, but insults really only really matter when they come from someone I respect. So
That's fine. I don't need yours.
well, then we're in agreement. And she glances over to Villain, who's very much like, I left this bullshit. Oh my god, Villain, you look amazing. Thanks, Misery. I cannot believe that she's still dragging you around places. I mean, you could do so much better. I'm good. She looks up close and she like grabs his arm and is like, "This is gorgeous. Where'd you get it?" I'm sorry. I got it chopped off. Oh, that makes sense. It looks way better on you. Though I will say, and she grabs his other arm. She's just like, bit more going on right here, though. You know, you were talking to her before. Yeah, but I'm talking to you now.
It's hard to bounce back. Give her a few practice rounds. She's not ready. I'll be waiting.
Do you think sitting on that throne means anything? What do you want, Oliette? I'm bored.
Well, be careful not to exhaust your entire vocabulary in one go. That said, I have a proposition for you.
What kind of things would you be offering that I would even remotely want, short of your absence?
Will grant you this. Have a mind for growth. I love whatever this aesthetic is called, or at least whatever it was called when it first hit.
I think it's paper mache.
It's called Fraggle.
And you have to admit, this is peanuts. I mean, what are you gonna do? Build more anthills?
This is a fraction of our reach. I'm sure you've seen us cropping up everywhere.
No, not really. That said,
Never were terribly detail-oriented.
listen, if you are content to live underground like vermin, if that's what you want for your loyal subjects, then we'll leave you be. But if you are willing to work hard and conquer your feelings of inadequacy, you might enjoy a throne above ground.
I don't have the time or the crayons to explain this to you all yet, but I am fine building my own empire. I don't need your table scraps.
That's where you're wrong. Listen. And I will stand up, drop the lollipop on the ground, and crush it under my boot.
You're gonna get it all stuck on your boot, but okay.
Fine. And I'll approach very slowly. And I want to just lean in a little bit.
As you lean in, you notice that even though she had prestidigitated her makeup clean, it's gotten smudged again somehow, silently, perhaps without somatic components.
And I still have this actually. Because we never gave it up. So, hold on. Let me pull this up. Do, 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 do. Oops. All right. So, I am going to very gingerly just tuck a stray lock of hair. Not aggressive.
You mean the stray
very
locks of
gingerly.
hair that she worked really hard to look like they were
Yeah.
careless? Sure.
And using this ring that allows me to do this without speaking, I will just smile, but I will cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
And I want to, in her head, let her hear me say, I am trying to do you a favor. This is messy and weak. And I will end you if I have to.
Okay. Two things. Roll your damage for Vicious Mockery, and also give me an intimidation check.
These little baby d4s. Oh! Alright. That's a 7 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And 17 on the die, so 22 for intimidation.
22. Okay. Okay. And you see her face kind of twitch a little at that tweak in the back of her skull and those words in the back of her mind. Somewhere out in the wilds of the Queensdom, there is a tree working very, very hard to produce oxygen for you, I think you should go apologize to it.
Been about as fruitful as I thought it might be. Very well. I offered you a truce.
You offered me a throne. I'm afraid I'd need something a bit more concrete than just a concept.
Well, it's quite physical, I assure you.
I'm sure.
Again, if you don't... Listen, the inferiority complex is justified. If you don't feel that you're fit to rule above and below, I would understand.
I know you well enough, Oliette, to know you like to weave a lot of good stories. Give me something real. And then maybe we can talk.
I am going to do the same move. I'm gonna utilize this ring.
Okay.
This time it's dissonant whispers, and it's just the sound of an ocean violently thrashing against a cliffside.
Okay.
It's still gonna hurt her, though.
Yeah. Isn't it Whispers as an attack roll or a saving throw?
It is a wisdom save of 15.
Oh, no. She rolled a 2 on the die, so...
Okay. So she takes 7, 8, 9 points of psychic damage, and she has to, as quickly as possible, back away from me. She can turn and run if she really wants to, but she has to move back a little bit.
She shifts back a little bit and glances behind her and sees Verlaine and then backs up a little bit more right up against him.
No. Then I don't have to explain, thank God, that I take what I want. I have already taken something of hers, and I will do it again. I would love to have somebody look after it. Someone I could, well, trust is a strong word, but...
Look after what? The thing you're promising or the thing you took? And she puts her hand back on Verlaine and just, like, strokes the side of his face.
Oh, sloppy.
Or could you just not handle him?
At least he remembered it.
Verlaine gets a little, just a little less pale.
Choice, Misery. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I'm going to snap my fingers and brush past her, not look back, start walking out.
Verlaine, like, what do the rest of you do? At the snap, I assume, was to tell people to leave.
I wait till she's past me and then follow behind her.
Okay. Harlan?
Like, falling in step.
I think he...
Do you silently fuck around with anything else? Besides her makeup?
I think he'll just, like... and, like, prestidigitate little, like, fireworks coming out of his fingers.
They say, fuck you, you suck.
Get a life.
Get right. As we get to as we get near, like, the entrance of this room, I will pause and turn. And without even looking back, I will say...
Oh, the moment, the moment you turn around, like, she's still, like, right up in Verlaine's space. He hasn't left yet because she's like whispering at him and like still like really laying it on thick. And he looks a mix between irritated but also like kind of hot. No one, it's a little like, yeah. She learned from the best. So.
But yeah, I will wait just a moment, and then I will say, I don't like this color. Probably redo this when we come back. You should be aware. You were our last choice. This is charity.
If I throw a stick, will you leave?
Cute. I know you didn't learn that one from me. It's not even clever. I hope your reach is as widespread as you think it is. We've encountered more of your enemies than allies, so this will at least be a fun show.
We've been around long enough, Oliette, I'm sure. She kind of calls after you.
I don't turn around.
Yeah, of course not. Valine has already kind of pried away from her. And he kind of pauses. And he turns back around to Misery. And sort of like gets a little close to her. And she's like got this really smug look on her face. Like, she's like, oh yeah, I fucking got him. And when he apparently whispers to her, you see her smile kind of drop a little bit. She looks a little mix between unhappy and like a little intimidated. And then he turns and leaves.
Pallet, go!
And you leave the mountain.
When we get outside of the hive, Harlan's gonna take the hole with him.
I was considering using Beza's enlarge to crack open the doorway as we were leaving.
Just mine now.
It's mine now. I take this. I take this.
The bug guards are like watching you leave, and then like they turn to follow you out to like block the door, and it's just boom, and there's just a mountain. That's a big hole. There's probably like two doorways. And Valine just sort of
Okay.
yeah, I'm good.
Like you had some fun in there?
She had some fun.
Oh?
For a little while.
See? See?
Yeah. Good. It was creepifying and nostalgic.
Yeah, it felt a little weird. Also, nice move, Harlan, with the hole. And she'll, like, fist bump Harlan.
Well, careful. I don't know. I don't want to drop it.
Just drop it under her court.
I think he has to see where he's putting it.
There's windows.
Oh my god. Sigfinn has been evil-eyeing some of the bugs. I've kind of been like keeping away from them. She's like,
What happens if you put the hole at the top of one of those towers?
there's already holes at the top. Like
No,
they're
but
they're like chimneys.
All the hot air can get out.
Yeah. they're like kind of like, you see these sort of these bug soldiers that are kind of like, you know, step off, watch your fucking self. And Sigfin sees all of you and just sort of shakes out back, kind of pushes them out of the way. And when you all get there, it's like, it's as if they don't realize I was evolutionarily designed to consume things shaped like them.
I think we've established that some of the people here are not the brightest. Except in color.
You have not come bearing gifts of gratitude and awe like Mr. Harland here.
No, it was never going to go like that.
Huh.
Of two things I think will happen at this point. Either Misery will realize that she is greedier than she would like to admit and is intrigued, or she's made so many enemies. It would be too easy.
Give me an insight check. Oh yeah.
To Siegfried? Or is this the advisor?
This is Siegfried.
Oh,
no,
okay,
but
cool.
make an insight check about Misery.
Oh, okay. Insight 17 total.
I didn't get to, this is me saying I didn't get to narrate this in the moment. When you made the sound of the ocean in her ears, you did see a little, like, hunger or like an awareness of what you were offering. And see how it
We
shakes
shall
out.
see. Yeah. But yeah, no, we are lucky we made it out of there in one piece. Let's get the fuck out of here. How about that?
You hear a bunch of noise and clatter coming from the holeless exit in
The now sealed.
Perhaps we should go.
Oh.
Holland, where are you going to put the hole?
I hadn't quite decided yet.
Save it for
Think
the
of
fight. Maybe you can shove her in it.
Well, it
Her with
wasn't
a
that
capital
bad.
H, not
Oh.
not her.
Oh. Like, that's a waste of it. Nope. That's... Let's go.
And you all climb up onto Sigfin and you fly away. Where do you go? Where do you ask her to take you?
Probably the... whatever we can think of that might be the safest pseudo-neutral place. I don't know if we... because we stayed in the courts, so we didn't have, like, a place of our own.
Correct.
I don't know. We could go back to the hunters. We could go back to the Muppet Forest.
I could get more. I could get more outfits from the Fraggles. Sorry, the crisp.
See me in
wits.
this.
The crisp wits. The
Crisp
cutest
wits.
things ever.
I think Harlan might have, like, in his travels with Gura, known, like, some, basically, like, safe places to lay the head.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
If any of those are still up and running, then
All right.
he'd name off a few.
What kind of a location are we talking? Natural, man-made?
I think if the desire is to be safe and neutral, I think natural.
Okay. So, Gura has taken you to caves before. Like on cliffs and stuff, looking out over the land, getting a sort of existential view of how everything's connected. But there's a fucking cave. So Siegfried
Spoiler
takes
alert,
you.
Harlan's Batman.
Yeah, Siegfried takes you to an area sort of across the valley from the Colt Mountains, and it's a little warmer. It's more Colorado than Switzerland, which is kind of the mountain vibe over there. And it's these kind of rusty looking mountains. And you're taken to a cliff edge that has this wide mountain over it, or wide mountain view at the mouth of it. Hey, and you, as you're flying, you do see a slightly familiar shape at the cliff's edge. Sitting on the edge of it, big round shell. Sort of hunched over, tortoise-like. And Sigfin sets you down on the edge, and Gura, the turtle, just kind of lumbers up. He looks exactly the same. Literally nothing has changed. Gura thinks Gura has had too much sun and not enough hydration.
I mean, that's probably accurate.
As he kind of like looks you up and down.
You always were pretty bad about your electrolytes. Just comes in for a big hug. Can we bunk with you for the night?
There are no bunks in cave. There is only cave.
It's all right. We got lots of pillows.
You've been to cave, Harland.
Yes. Yes, we have. We got a couch, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Had to sell couch.
No, I wasn't talking about that couch.
And Sigfin just sort of starts preening a little bit, finds a perch up above the caves. And she sort of like chills out, looks out over everything. She seems satisfied with the accommodations. And you're probably duskward right now, so the sun is really, really low. You've got that cool, like, sort of color in the sky as the sun's getting low sort of vibe. It's warm tones. And Gura gives you all a place to hang your hat, so to speak. Gura does not have hat rack. Does not have place for hanging hat.
I mean, the only one of us that has a hat. Well, no, I guess Paru has a hat. Sometimes too.
She's not gonna take it off though. And he shows you around. It's actually like besides the cliff, there's actually like a nice little glade and stuff down below. If you climb down, there's like some water. It's very picturesque. Reminds you a little bit of like the sort of area where when you first came here. Thick woods, but idyllic, not overly fairy tale looking, just nice and lush. And Gura shows you around. This is rock that Gura meditates on. This is cave where you will be sleeping. End of tour.
Riveting as always.
Looking for food? Are you hungry? Gura was going to make food.
I mean, if you're offering.
Suppose more food could be made. I could probably go hunt something up too if you want.
That would, yes. Small one, yes.
I'll be back.
Thank you. Guru will make substantially better food now.
It wasn't going to be lentils again, was it?
Lentils are nutritionally dense and easy to carry and keep. Why would Gura not make lentils? They are staple for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That stable. That's the word I want to be used for my
Staple. Staple. They are a food staple.
Even worse.
Eating staples, great. So you all hunker down, maybe talk out strategy a little bit, what the plan is. At some point, you probably notice Villain's not around. He wandered down the cliff towards the water below. And he's just sort of hanging out near the water. Seems like he's in a little bit of a solitary, like, not solitary, but like in one of those headspaces where he kind of wanders away for a bit. And unless anybody has anything really pivotal to resolve right now,
It's asking Harlan to please prestidigitate the bottom of my boot.
Get the candy
But I got all sticky.
The crushed candy pieces. Ugh, gross. There's just a scorpion tail inside it. I don't remember what was in the candy. It was a scorpion or a spider or something.
Spider.
Yeah. Oh my god, fuck Lickish. Just spider. So, with that, you watch the sun perpetually setting, never actually reaching nighttime, and wait out a long rest and figure out what you're gonna do. And that is where we'll end tonight. Boy, this is a very good episode. All right, everybody. That is the time.
Everyone is like, new favorite session.
I know. I'm very pleased. This was definitely a clippable session. Everyone, please, thank you. Well, please have yourselves a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really, really proud of the fact that you all enjoy the show so much. We are once again we're on Patreon. If you like us and you want to keep supporting us and then our network, you can find us at patreon.com/nerdsmith. Our patrons get access to exclusive content like behind the scenes stuff, but bonus content from some of our shows. We right now have some fiction by our very own Kyle, Mr. Harland. Some downtime of things that Harlan's been doing between sessions. We also are going to be having some exclusive TTRPG content. Maps and locations and adventure modules eventually. Some character folks like the chitin who you saw tonight. We have a whole race sheet built up for them, and you can check them out. They are delightful and interesting. And as well as Beza's species, the Goa, are also one of our homebrew races. So you'll also be able to check them out if you're part of our Patreon subscribers. Make sure to check out our sponsors. Thank you so much to Eldritch Foundry, World Anvil, and Die Hard Dice. With Die Hard Dice, if you use the code NERDSMITH, you get 10% off your purchase. So please check out their Dreamscape Larkspur dice set that we showed off this earlier today. They're freaking gorgeous, as usual. Die Hard has beautiful colors on their dice. And we will depart there. Thank you so much to everybody who rated and watched and followed us and helped us with a hype train today at the beginning of the session. We will be here same time next week, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, here on twitch.tv/wearenerdsmith. We will also be around on Monday. I run Discover RPG, which is usually just my prepping. And if what's happening next week is what I think is happening next week, aka I'm thinking we're gonna go into some battle potentially. We'll see what happens. There are gonna be some cool things to show off during a battle with a a battle with a Fae Queen who can jump between books. There's gonna be some fun shit. Anyway. have yourselves a very safe and happy evening. Take care of yourselves. Have a nice week. And above all, please do us a favor and be good to each other. And thank you for the subscriptions, Anonymous Gifter. Everybody, take care. And we will see you next week for chapter 42, which feels appropriate. If we're going to have the battle, it should be on the answer to life and everything. Good night, everybody. To be continued. And we're going to run the intro one more time because why not? Bye.
It's amazing.
Philippines team members, and they're on the other side of the world. So I've been doing some like half day, half night. So anyway,